viewers and subscribers, and welcome to a brand new Doctor Who, welcome to my very first ever live Q&A. Now I've just got to wait for a few subscribers to come on. I'm on live now. Yeah, and I got 2 people watching me so far. Hello! I'm finally live. I'm finally live. I'm just going to wait for a few more subscribers. Jamie Arrowsmith, hiya mate. How are you? My auntie Vicky, hello. 4 people watching so far, and as you can tell for this live Q&A, I've kind of changed my Doctor Who collection, because I've kind of added the DVDs and Blu-rays together on one shelf to count, and then kind of continue it then with the limited editions behind me. And also, as a little bit as well, I'm going to show you quickly, I've done a live little section for me live video of Doctor Who stuff, where we got some pop figures, Daleks, Bubblehead Daleks and stuff. So, right, Jason Arnold. Hi Paul, when we get announcement for seasons 2 or... hang on, go look at that. Right, how do... personally, Jason, I'm kind of hoping that it's going to be season 2 for the Blu-ray range. I have got my fingers crossed it is season 2, because season 2 is my all-time favourite William Hartnell season. It's got 2 fantastic Dalek stories, as it's got the Dalek, the Dalek invasion of Earth, and of course the Chase. And I really am hoping, fingers crossed, the next Blu-ray box set is season 2. I really am hoping, because I've heard quite a few rumours, if anyone's interested, that in the collection range we've either got seasons, that we've literally got seasons 9 coming out, we've got season 2 that's been rumoured, season 20 has been rumoured for quite a while and stuff. Meeting Sylvester McCoy on Saturday. I'll let you know about season 22 next year at Comic Con. Please do, because I'm really looking forward to if season 22 comes out on Blu-ray, because then that way I can actually, well, to be honest, not just me, everybody will have on their Blu-ray collector range if it's got from seasons like in the collection range, because we've just got season 22 out only 2 weeks ago. So really, if season 25 comes out, I'll be over the moon. I have to admit, I absolutely will be over the moon if season 25 does come out, because that way on our shelves we've got seasons 22, 23, 24, 25 and 26. So that way all we then need for the 1980s on Blu-ray is this season 20 and season 21. But season 20 has been rumoured for quite a while. Honestly, it's been rumoured for quite a while, season 20. I believe it was rumoured back in 2019, just before lockdown, and they were going to go to Amsterdam to film some stuff behind the scenes. So I'm hoping that we get seasons 20 out, but I'm really hoping for season 2. Season 2, as I say, is my all-time favourite William Hartnell season. It's just the one season that I physically do enjoy quite a lot, and it's absolutely brilliant. To carry on with some questions I've been asked, so I was asked by Sophie Alex Sloan, if you meet any Doctor Who stars, was you nervous meeting them? For your question, Sophie, yes I was. I met Peter Davison for the first time back in 2017, and I was really sweating, and when I shook his hand he realised how much nervous I was by sweating and stuff, and he was absolutely genuinely thrilled that I was dressed in his outfit for season 19. And then of course I met him again in April last year for the second time. Not April, sorry, April this year I met him for the 3rd time, because I met him in November as well, and he's absolutely brilliant. I was really nervous meeting Sylvester McCoy, because I've only met him twice, and Sylvester McCoy is honestly my second favourite Doctor. And when I was there, I was really nervous, and when I get nervous I talk a lot, and that's the thing, I really do get nervous. Jamie also says I was speechless with Peter Davison, first Doctor I met. Yeah, Jamie, you're not the only one. I was really nervous meeting him, but luckily you were there to help me out with that meeting him for the first time. I was really, really nervous. Somebody has asked me what's my favourite Doctor Who monster. My favourite Doctor Who monster has got to be the Daleks. I mean, they were my genuine all-time favourite from the very first story, which is the Daleks, back in 1963 to 1964, when it was broadcast. I wish I was alive to see that being aired. That would have been absolutely fantastic to go back and watch. And then, of course, the Daleks have had so many stories, every single incarnation of the Doctor, from TV, comics, Big Finish, books, and everything else. Brilliant. Do you know about the with the DVDs? Right. I've got some later DVDs. I'll just show you quickly. Yeah. We do have reversible covers for them. So if I show you quickly, all my DVDs now are generally the same. So to match up with the others, I've kind of changed them like that. But they do come with that as well at the back of them. So you can either have them on the way you want in the collection range. But I'm going to be really honest here. I kind of buy the Blu-rays, Steelbooks, and the DVDs on the actual day of release. So all my DVDs, I get them all to kind of match up. Well, until really we get to New Who, when it's just literally the box sets come in. I do own the volumes. I have kind of separated my collection, you see, to everything. I watched Patrick Troughton's era in the moment from watching the moon. Yeah, I really don't like the telesnap ones for the Underwater Menace. That's just absolutely terrible. The really bad stuff watching some telesnaps. You get some good telesnaps with really good quality and stuff, and then you go straight into stories that haven't got some great quality, and it's like, you know, what are you gonna do? I have to admit. And as I was saying, opinion of loose cannon. Who got me into Doctor Who? That was generally my dad. I remember going down to watch TV, and he was watching Death to the Daleks, and I was about 3 years old at that point, and he was watching it on UK Gold. Fantastically, I mean, I still remember UK TV Gold here in the UK. I don't think many people do actually remember UK TV Gold, but I remember watching classic Doctor Who and that with my dad and with my granddad Mick as well. God bless him. I really miss him. He's absolutely fantastic. How many figures do I have? Quite a lot. I mean, I don't just collect the character option figures. I've got bobbleheads. I've got the big kind of figures as well. I mean, like these types. I've got these big Dalek bubbles and stuff. And hi Paul, what modern Doctor Who series do you think will get released first in the collection range? I'm going to say this generally. If they are going to do Modern Who in the Blu-ray collection range, one, I think that would be great, but two, I'm not too fussed because I have got them in the Steelbook. But if they were going to release them with behind the sofa stuff that's in the other collection ranges, I think that will be the main reason for me to go and buy them. I would absolutely love. Yeah, tell us about David Tennant Series 2. Right, as most people know, I generally hate Series 2. Series 2 is just full of lovey-dovey stuff. Lovey-dovey stuff, I really hate Series 2. I mean, the only good thing about Series 2, for me, that's literally just a generally good thing, is that the fact we've got the Cybermen in it. That's the only good thing about Series 2. That's the only thing I go back to rewatch about Series 2. It's that it's got good dark Cybermen stories, and even though you've got the Dark versus Cybermen in Doomsday as well. But Series 2 is generally my least favourite series of Modern Who. It's just absolutely full of drivel. It's terrible. I mean, going from Series 1 into Series 2 these days, it's like, what the hell's going on here? It's just totally different content and stuff. I really don't like Series 2. Series 2, I just genuinely don't like. And it's nothing to do with David Tennant. I mean, David Tennant is my least favourite Doctor, but that is because of his writing. His writing is... Now, the thing about Doctor Who is you ain't just got the actors and stuff, but you've got to do some other stuff as well. It's not just the actors' fault that's going to make it terrible. It's how good the quality is going to be. It's just how good the quality is going to be. And Series 2, I really think the writing for Series 2, because they're trying to get used to a new Doctor, suffers a lot. Series 3 is absolutely brilliant, and Series 4 is absolutely amazing. My best friend just said Billie Piper said that Teeth and Claw was her favourite. Yeah, I have heard that before, Jamie. I haven't really met Billie Piper to ask her. I have been... Hang on, what's this one? What assistant do you find most attractive? I'm going to be honest, I was really attracted to Ace, Sophie Aldred, when I was growing up. I mean, she's absolutely brilliant. I mean, come on, she's the companion to beat a Dalek up with a baseball bat, which is honestly one of the best things about her. She's a Dalek. She's the very first companion, and not only just the very first companion, she's the only companion to actually go and beat up a Dalek. And I find that most attractive. I have got some other questions written down here for some other people. Henry Andrews asked, what is my favourite Doctor Who figure that I own? My favourite Doctor Who figure that I own only came out last year, and the reason this is my favourite because it comes with electronic TARDIS. Now, I don't really own any of the classic Doctor Who figures for the electronic TARDIS ranges. I mean, honestly, if I could, I would. I mean, they're like £2,000 and stuff, and everything else is generally going a bit higher. So to actually get this literally for 40 quid, it was just brilliant. Now, so I'm going to show you. So what it is I got my very first classic TARDIS, electronic TARDIS. So this TARDIS is from the Abominable Snowman, but really it's basically from the Eve of the Daleks, because from Eve of the Daleks and up was just absolutely superb and stuff. And I really loved the way this TARDIS for season 5. It came into literally at the kind of like episode 7 of Eve of the Daleks, and then it was all the way up to View from the Deep. But the only reason this is my favourite figure is because it comes with this. I mean, it's the Charlton Doctor figure with his fur coat. Now, the thing is though about this fur coat, you can actually either use this for his stories, or if you kind of want to do something to celebrate the 5 Doctors, because he does wear the fur coat in the 5 Doctors as well, and I really love the 5 Doctors. It's one of my favourite multi-Doctor stories, and it's just absolutely superb. It really is. It's just really, really great multi-Doctor story, and I do love the 5 Doctors, and this is generally my favourite figure. Another sci-fi guy asks, he says, I'm curious which 7th Doctor story is my favourite. I love Sylvester McCoy's run in Doctor Who. Sylvester McCoy is my all-time second favourite Doctor. I actually met him twice now, once in April and last November, and I was really, really nervous meeting him, and of course I took my friend Chloe Bennett with me, and to be honest, she embarrassed me, which kind of got me nerves up a little bit more, because she turned around to Peter Davison, Colin Baker, Sylvester McCoy, because I used to FaceTime her all the time. She goes, he never shuts up about you. Doctor is his favourite thing, and I'm there going, oh my god. I'm like, oh my god. But Chloe absolutely embarrassed me then, and that's the thing about it. That's the good thing about Comic Con and stuff. I think next year, season 20, 15, 25, and season 1 for the 60th. Joseph, I'm kind of hoping with you on that one, to be honest. It'd be really, really great for the collection range on Blu-ray to have season 1 for the 60th. I mean, it's the very first season of Doctor Who, and it's 60 years of Doctor Who, and that would be a great way to kind of bring it out. But I'm kind of worried what they're going to do for Marco Polo, because Marco Polo suffers really bad audio content and stuff. Have you considered watching non-Doctor Who films and TVs featuring actors who play the Doctor? Yes, I have. Doctor Who Magic Entertainment. Yes, I have. I've kind of watched quite a few. I mean, I watched what was the one? Morbius. I've watched Morbius only last night with Matt Smith, and I'm like, that's actually good. I kind of wish Matt Smith had more of that darker stuff with his Doctor, I have to admit, but I do. Anyway, another sci-fi guy asked me, he says he's curious which 7th Doctor story is my favourite. My favourite Sylvester McCoy story, I have to be honest here, it is, honestly, I have to say, my favourite Sylvester McCoy is The Curse of Fenric. Curse of Fenric is just an absolutely iconic story. I mean, the music's great, we've got Heatherfalls, Ace kind of has a backstory, the Doctor manipulates Ace, and it's just really, really, really great. Joseph's put, I'm waiting for the government for the missing episodes of Doctor Who, the 17 stories. Yes, that is one thing I'm really waiting for as well. What's going on here? There we are, you can see me again. Yeah, I'm kind of waiting for that as well. 17 stories. Somebody's asked, if I can get it up. Who is my favourite companion? My favourite companion is Ace. I mean, come on, it's Ace, you know. She's the companion to beat up a Dalek. She's the very first and only companion to beat up a Dalek with a baseball bat. She literally gets hold of gold dust and flings it into the Simon chest unit in Silver Nemesis. So she's literally just one of the best companions in Doctor Who history. And Does she have fudge cake? My family's never going to let me forget that in a hurry, are they? David Tennant, what do you think? I've already spoken about David Tennant. I mean, I don't like Series 2. I really don't like the first half of Series 3, but Series 4 is amazing. I do like Series 4. I have to be honest. But Tennant's acting as the 10th Doctor, he's so humanous. He's like so human. It's not. He doesn't play the Time Lord Doctor. I mean, he plays the human Doctor, and it's like, this isn't Doctor Who. The Doctor should not go around falling in love with companions and stuff, and he should not go around kissing. And it's like, oh, I'm going to get off the Tennant subject because of that. Yeah, Clara was my favourite with the 11th Doctor, but I have to be honest, with Clara, I prefer her with Matt Smith's Doctor than Peter Capaldi, because I really think with Capaldi, she becomes the Doctor's bitch. Well, the Doctor becomes her bitch, I'm trying to say. That's the only thing about it. Who is the best dressed Doctor? For me to say who is the best dressed Doctor, it is Tom Baker. Tom Baker is the Doctor, and he has had so many iconic costumes from season 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. He's had so many great costumes. I do actually want to cosplay his season 18 look. Season 18 is absolutely phenomenal. So many great stories in that, with like the Leisure Hive, which is terrible, but it's still quite enjoyable. It's got Mad Gloss in it, Full Circle, State of Decay, Warriors Gate, Keeper of Traken, and Logopolis. I mean, I really want to cosplay Tom Baker for season 18. Lana Wood was in The Professionals. What? I haven't really seen that, to be honest. I really haven't seen that. Matt Bailey, I don't want to go. Matt Smith was the best Doctor ever, but I wish we saw some more of John Hurt. Yes, that's the one thing I think was missed. But before John Hurt passed away, he went into Big Finish, and Big Finish basically done 4 box sets with him as the War Doctor set in his timeline. So I've only got 1 box set from Big Finish, which is Casualties of War, and it's absolutely fantastic and stuff. So do you have a theory to what will happen with Jodie's regeneration? I'm kind of hoping, how can I say this? I'm still hoping Tennant's going to be the 10th/11th Doctor, because if he's going to come back as the 14th Doctor, I really think that's going to get a bit tricky with Doctor Who fans with their figure collection, because I've put all my figures into Doctor's orders. So if Tennant is the 14th Doctor, I really think that's going to be very confusing for people. But I'm hoping it's Nick Shooty Gatwick. I mean, I just finished watching a couple of months, not a couple of months ago, back last month, I think May, June, something like that. I watched Sex Education, and he's absolutely amazing. I mean, some of the stuff he says, like dirty pig. I really would love to see his Doctor say that. How many Ninth Doctors was there before the think about it? There was 3 Ninth Doctors, Matt. There was 3 Ninth Doctors. One was with Rowan Atkinson in the Comet Relief Special, in the Curse of Fatal Death, when you kind of see him regenerate into Richard E. Grant, Hugh Grant, the one that played Roy Slater in Only Fools and Horses. I can't remember his name. I know his first name's Jimmy something, and then into the woman person at the end. But then, of course, we did have Richard E. Grant again playing the 9th Doctor for Scream of the Shalka, which is an absolutely brilliant Doctor Who story. If you haven't seen Scream of the Shalka, I do recommend that one because it's absolutely brilliant. And then, of course, Christopher Eccleston is the 9th Doctor. Do your impression of your favourite Doctor?
My favourite Doctor is got to be Tom Baker. I mean, would you like a jelly baby? I say, what one for Butler, so violent.
I really love Tom Baker's Doctor. He's one of my favourite, he's my all-time favourite Doctor. I've got both of his scarves and stuff, and even though, yeah, I mean, after I'm doing this live stream, I'm thinking of going to watch a Tom Baker story afterwards, and you can't have jelly babies without the 4th Doctor, can we? You know that? Yeah, you can't. You've got to have more jelly babies. Some other questions I've got asked was, Killer, what Big Finish is your favourite? My favourite Big Finish story has got to be the Light at the End, because that is just a magnificent multi-Doctor story. It came out for the 50th anniversary. It's got Tom Baker in it. It's got Peter Davison in it. It's got Colin Baker, Seth MacCoy, and Paul McGann in it. Now, the one thing I really miss from multi-Doctor stories is the fact we get more Doctors. Honestly, that's the only thing I have to say, is that for modern Doctor Who, we kind of don't have many multi-Doctor stories, unless you look at Time Crash, or we got basically The Day of the Doctor, and then Twice Upon a Time. So we kind of have that going on, but there again, though, Light to the End, it's just genuinely amazing Big Finish story, because we've got Tom Baker with Paul McGann's Doctor, with Leela and his companion Charlie, and then of course we have literally Peter Davison, Colin Baker, Sus McCoy with their companions. Why do you feel the Fourth Doctor is going to be finished? Why do I feel like the Fourth Doctor is going to be finished on Blu-ray next year? Because after all, we only need... Yeah, I mean, Tom Baker's only got 3 seasons to come out on Blu-ray. I mean, which is kind of disappointing, really, because it means Tom Baker's nearly finished, where Colin Baker, we've only completed 2 of his seasons. We do need to get season 21 out for his first story, which is The Twin Dilemma. I hate The Twin Dilemma. I'm getting off that subject. I really don't like The Twin Dilemma. But Tom Baker, I have to admit, is just terrible. Sorry, not terrible. Great. But the fact that we've got seasons 13, 15 and 16 to come out, it's just like, I'm really hoping season 16 is going to be the last one. I'm really hoping that next year we get season 13. Because season 13 is my all-time favourite season for Tom Baker. We've got so many great stories in that, like The Terror of the Saigons, Planet of Evil, Pyramids of Mars, The Android Invasion, The Brain of Morbius, and The Seas of Doom. We've got so many great stories. I love the Krynoids. Bring back the Krynoids, Russell T Davies, if you're watching this. Bring back the Krynoids. I want the Krynoids back. They were absolutely fantastic. And I was asked another question. Hang on, where is it? What do you think is the worst monster? The Asobaloft. I really don't like the Asobaloft from Series 2, Love and Monsters. That is just terrible. I mean, come on, how to waste an actor like Peter Kay? How to waste a comedian like Peter Kay? Oh, we just put him in a great big blubbly suit with faces on and stuff. Oh, yeah, that ain't really so funny. Which story would I say is the most underrated? For me to say what story is the most underrated, there's so many, because there's so many stories I consider to be underrated when they should be overrated. But for me, if I was going to say what is the most underrated story, I have to say, and this one comes out of New Who, it is, of course, Dark Water and Death in Heaven, the 2-part finale to Series 8. I mean, I don't really hear many people talking about how good and creepy that one was. I mean, Cybermen from cyberspace, you got the cyber parliament in the rain, converting the dead and stuff. So, you know, great stuff there. I don't know why that one's not really underrated, classed as overrated. Let me pull it up and up, baby. What? Okay, I don't know who's put that one. Okay. Right, carrying on with some of the questions. I hope Tom Baker will do season 11, John Pertwee's last season. Yes, that would actually make it really good for Tom Baker to do that, because Pertwee passed away back in 1996, and I think Tom Baker coming back, because he did do the regeneration from Planet of the Spiders up to make the regeneration kind of work. I would actually like to see Tom Baker sit down and watch John Pertwee's last kind of season on Blu-ray, which would absolutely be fantastic to see. Any more questions? What other TV films and TVs would you like Doctor Who to cross over with? If I wanted Doctor Who to cross over with anything, it would probably be Star Trek. Star Trek is my second favourite kind of franchise. I mean, if I wanted to get anything, I would probably get, I would probably have the TNG cast meet the next Doctor. That would absolutely be free. That would actually be perfect. Patrick Stewart with Nick Shooty Gatwick. How good's that? Also got asked another question. What would you do with a real sonic screwdriver? I will probably try and build myself a real TARDIS console room, because I do want to get myself a replica. What that leaves Katie Manning to do season 7, and Wendy Perry to do it. Yeah, because nobody's alive for season 7's kind of behind the sofa. Yeah. I think Caroline John, who also played Liz Shaw, I think she's kind of got a daughter or grandchildren, so they could easily come back and like sit down and watch her mother do like Doctor Who. Bailey, if you had to retire less, where would you go? What do you mean by that, Bailey? Bailey, if you had if I had a TARDIS, where would I go first? I would probably try and see if Gallifrey's alive. You know, probably see if Gallifrey exists in real life, and then I'd probably train to become a Time Lord. I'd get out of this time zone. Your room is a TARDIS. All the stuff, it must be bigger on the inside. Why don't you have in your collection that you love? My collection box sets that I love all of them, to be honest, Sam. I love all the collection box sets for the Blu-ray range because they're just filled up with so many great stuff. I have to admit, they're literally filled with like behind the sofas and stuff. Everything's just absolutely genuinely fantastic. What is your thought on Peter Cushing as Doctor Who? Brilliant. Best thing about the Dalek movies, I love Peter Cushing, but the thing is though, I can't really say is he canon or not. I would like to say that he's canon. I would like to say that he is canon because of the whole Timeless Child story arc. What don't you have that you want? Quite a lot, Vicky. I would rather have a proper TARDIS console replica. I would like to have some replica of Daleks, like the proper full life-size Daleks. I would love to have some Cybermen heads because the Cybermen are my second favourite villain. If I was going to go with a Cyberman head, it would probably be from the 1980s because the 1980s Cyberman is favourite. Honestly my favourite. One is missing in my collection, season 8. I'll find it in Comic Con. Hopefully you can get season 8. Hopefully you can, because season 8 is a good season. Get one in your room. Yeah, I've tried. I've tried talking Mum into let me get a TARDIS console. Anyway, carrying on what I was trying to say. Will you do a video play the online Doctor Who game 13? If I actually do get around to getting it, then yeah, I would. I hope you have some space on your shelves for the Abominable Snowman when it finally arrives. Don't worry about that. I've already got the space for that. I've made space in my steelbook collection and DVDs. I mean, after the DVDs go off this kind of shelf, I've actually got more shelves put up to expand me DVDs. I kind of expanded more shelves and stuff so I can get more Doctor Who stories when they come out on Blu-ray and DVD. And hang on, what is my favourite Dalek design? My favourite Dalek design, I have to admit, is the classic ones from the 1970s. These ones. These are my favourite Daleks. I love the kind of matte black Daleks. I love the fact they're fantastic and stuff. What are you going to do? Be your next Big Finish video you're going to update? To be honest, Killer, I'm going to be doing quite a few Big Finish videos because today I actually gone and got series 7 of Tom Baker Adventures, and I kind of want to listen to them and do reviews on the whole season instead of doing like reviews on singular stories on that one. So I'm quite looking forward to this one. I think the face of Bo is one of my favourite things of Doctor Who. I think the face of Bo is actually generous, but the one thing about that is, why the hell have we not had Captain Jack turn into the face of Bo? If he's supposed to be the face of Bo, why the hell not have they brought John Barrowman back to do the whole bit with the face of Bo? That's the one thing I have to say about that. My VHS will be growing in September after I spend. Yes, that's the one thing about what's growing in my collection also, and VHSs. I'm hoping to get my VHSs to grow at some point. If I've missed any other questions, one is you need to do a live Marvel soon. If it works, if the Marvel videos work, then I'll probably do that as well, but I don't really think. What don't you have in your collection that you love? Oh, what I don't have in my collection that I love. I kind of would love to have some Dalek story, the kind of like the DVD version, especially like limited editions of the Dalek stories with, because I did quite a few, because you got the Davros collection and stuff. What do I think about Torchwood? Amazing, absolutely amazing. I mean, I've got it on DVD and I've got it on Blu-ray. I just love Torchwood completely, and I want, if I could bring back Torchwood, I would. I really would like to bring back Torchwood because it's absolutely genuinely fantastic. What story? I've already answered that one. The whole thing with Clara TARDIS key scene was great. Yes, it was. I love the fact that they did it, but the Doctor kind of made it like to be a dream. Why do I feel? Yeah, I've already answered that one. I missed quite a few, I think. No. Bear with me. There we are. What is your favourite movie outside Doctor Who? If I was going to say what's my favourite movie, I don't have a favourite movie. I kind of have a favourite movie franchise, I have to admit. Because I really have quite a few favourite franchises I enjoy. Like Doctor Who's one, Star Trek is two. Then of course we've got the Marvel Universe. I absolutely love Marvel. DC Comics, Star Wars, Harry Potter. Harry Potter's amazing. Did you tell John Barrowman fell out with the BBC? Yeah, there was a kind of thing about that with John Barrowman. It's because something happened during filming a Doctor Who story with Nicholas Cole. Is it Nicholas Cole? The one that plays Mickey. And I think that's been like investigated, but that's kind of have ruined John Barrowman's career over here because they kind of took him out of Big Finish and stuff. I love to see the Demons on VHS and Connery in Space plus the War Games. To be honest, mate, I actually do have Connery in Space on VHS. The Demons, if it's in colour, I'll probably get it. If it's in black and white, I'll probably get it even more because black and white. Watching Doctor Who in black and white is still quite amazing. Not many people do go back and watch it, but yeah. I'm also going to got a few more questions written. Hi, Paul. What is your favourite Cyberman story from Big Finish? I haven't really listened to quite a few Big Finishes with Cybermen. I've only just got into the Big Finish stuff. So far, my favourite Big Finish has got to be Hour of the Cybermen with Colin Baker, because that's just the Sixth Doctor working with units to beat the Cybermen, and it's absolutely great. You know, I was actually surprised. I absolutely enjoyed it. I mean, the one thing about Colin Baker's era, there was not really a unit story or Peter Davison's run. The unit was mentioned, and the Brigadier did return for Davison and McCoy, but you never really see Colin Baker with unit or anything else. To actually have that story for Big Finish is absolutely amazing. Who is your favourite uncle? My favourite uncle, I have to admit, I've got two favourite uncles. My first favourite is my Uncle Dale, and my second favourite is my Uncle Darren. And my Uncle Tim. I absolutely do think my Uncle Tim's amazing as well. Especially when he's drunk. My Uncle Tim when he's drunk is amazing. And I kind of have three favourite uncles, to be honest. My Uncle Dale, my Uncle Tim, and my Uncle Darren. They absolutely are the best ones. I think Connery should play full... I think Sean Connery should play film version Tomb of the Cybermen 1977. Sean Connery should have played film version. Yeah. Hello, Paul. Do you think we will get season 20 next for the collection range? It is about time. The thing is, there's been so many rumours about season 20. It's because the actor that played Tarlo, Mark Stretson, he doesn't live here in the UK. He lives in New Zealand, and apparently New Zealand is still under quarantine with COVID, so they can't really get him to come over here to film the stuff they need for season 20 or 21. I know it's about time for Peter Davison to have another box set in the collection range. I mean, if you look at it, John Pertwee's got 2, Tom Baker's got 4, Peter Davison's only got 1, Colin Baker has got 2 seasons now. So basically, Colin Baker's complete, and Success McCoy's got 2. But I do think with you, season 20 should be next. But the only thing I'm going to say is season 20 is next. The first thing I will probably go and watch in full HD, it is The Five Doctors. The Five Doctors is just the best multi-doctor story in my opinion. Even, as David Tennant calls it, the 3 main doctors, a doctor in a wig, and a not really featured doctor. If you could have any job in the world, what would you be? I would love to be a future incarnation of the Doctor. I think I can narrow it down. I could do a bit of dark moments and some serious moments. I think next year, I think season 20, 100% that'll be true. Season 9 or season 2, because I have flown to Italy. I did not know they went to Italy to film for the Romans documentary. So season 2 is actually starting to look more positive now, and I really am hoping it is season 2. Season 2 is just a fantastic season for Doctor Who. We're in the 60s. It's my favourite Hartnell season. I don't know what I'm not really too keen about season 3, apart from the War Machines, and as well the War Machines and the Daleks Master Plan. They're the two great ones, I have to be honest with. They're really great ones. When do you think we will get an announcement for the next set? To be honest with you, the way these sets are going lately with the announcements, I would have thought we would have had one this week. I really genuinely would have thought we would have had one this week, but no. Who had the best reincarnation? There's only one Doctor that kind of had 3 actors to play, which is the first Doctor, because we had William Hartnell, then of course Richard Hurndall for the 5 Doctors, and David Bradley for Twice Upon a Time, and of course in Big Finish as the first Doctor. And I have to be honest, he's really, really good as the first Doctor. I love David Bradley's impression of the first Doctor for Big Finish. It's a lot better than Twice Upon a Time, honestly. A black and white set is due soon. Yes, I honestly think that in the collection range I would actually like to have a black and white season. I've actually got 2 seasons in mind what I would like to have out on the Blu-ray set. The first one is definitely season 2, and the second one is season 6. Season 6 is like Patrick Troughton's finale, and I think that would have been done absolutely brilliant. Hang on a minute, sorry, what? Downstairs? Yeah. In the bag? Which bag? The Only Fools and Horses bag. Yeah. Sorry about that. Hang on. Okay, thanks for answering my questions, Paul. Got to go to it. You're very welcome, Scott. Bonnie Langford was in EastEnders. Yes, I did watch her role as Carmel a couple of years ago when she was in it, and I kind of still watch EastEnders now and again, but to be honest with you, it only depends if I'm in the mood. I always go back and rewatch a Doctor Who. Who had the best regeneration? The Doctor who had the best regeneration is Peter Davison, hands down. Kaiser Androzani is the best regeneration story in my opinion. It's got some iconic moments in it. I mean, with the 5th Doctor basically sacrificing his own life to save Perry because of Spectrox toxemia, forcing him to regenerate into Colin Baker. The whole regeneration effects was EastEnders, I mean. Who had the best? Who had the best regeneration? Yeah, Peter Davison had the best regeneration. Who had... So many Doctors have had so many iconic regenerations. I mean, Hartnell, he died of old age. William Russell was in Adventures with Sir Lancelot TV show. Yes, I do know he was in that. I have seen a few clips, because I have been looking to see what actors are still alive out of the whole 60s general of Doctor Who. And I was kind of shocked to hear that some actors are still alive from the 60s. Like William Russell is in his late 90s now, and I'm kind of hoping he does come back and talk about season 1 and 2 for the collection range, because the collection range is honestly one of the best things about Doctor Who. There have been so many great Doctor Who's regenerations, I have to admit. Vicky, EastEnders, blah blah blah. Blame me dad for that one. I started watching it with my dad. Freezer Hines was in Duty Free. Was he? I did not know that, Joseph. I really didn't know that. Okay, carrying on with some questions I've got written down. What are you looking forward to collecting for Big Finish? The only thing I'm looking forward to, is at the end of this month, because I pre-ordered 2 Big Finish box sets from Amazon, which is Silver and Ice, and of course the 9th Doctor Adventures Volume Series 2 Volume 1, which is Back to Earth. I'm quite looking forward to this with them too. What is your biggest figure? My biggest figure is over here. This Cyberman. This Cyberman is the biggest figure I own in my collection so far. And I have had this for quite a while. My granddad Mick, when he was alive, got me this. He paid a lot of money to get it. And that's the one thing I have to say about it. He paid a lot of money to get me this cyber figure, and it's one of my favourites. It's why I have it on display. And I was also asked another question. Do you think we will get a 4-part version of the 5 Doctors in Season 20 Blu-ray box set? No. The 5 Doctors was actually broadcast as a TV movie version. It was not supposed to be cut down into 4 parts. So if in the collection range I really hoping they don't put it into 4 parts, because that would just ruin it. I think they should just do it all in HD definition, high definition stuff, really great stuff for the 5 Doctors. I mean, because it's not just a celebration of 20 years of Doctor Who. I mean, we get some great moments with John Pertwee, Patrick Troughton and Peter Davison when they work. Richard Hurndall, when he teams up with Peter Davison, is absolutely brilliant. He goes, more to the point, what's this young fellow doing inside my TARDIS? It's his TARDIS, and who might he be? The Doctor. Is it? Good grief. And he goes, me? Is it regeneration? 4. Goodness me, so there's 5 of me now. That sea monster on the poster in the background looks like Dobby. Actually, that is from the Sea Devils, which is why I want to go down to Plymouth at some point, to go down to the old filming location in Plymouth where they filmed the Sea Devils, because it's one of my favourite John Pertwee stories. It's my second favourite John Pertwee story in total. It's kind of took over Spare from Space, because I rewatched it recently, and I really want to go back and rewatch that story. I really do. David Graham was in The Gunfighters and Shane Romero from Thunderbirds. I don't really like The Gunfighters from season 3. That is the worst story for 60s Doctor Who, in my opinion. I just don't like the singing that's in that episode. It's just generally terrible. Really, really terrible that story was, and everything else. If I was gonna say, yeah, my favourite blue Big Finish box set I'm looking forward to is Silver and Ice, because that's got 2 versions of Cybermen in it. It's got the Wheel in Space Cybermen and of course the Silver Nemesis Cybermen. So I'm quite looking forward to listen to that one with Sylvester McCoy and Bonnie Langford. Got another question here from Claire Howard. Are you friends with any subscribers? Yes, I am. My best friends, Jamie Arrowsmith, Dylan Bowyer, Chloe Bennett and Rebecca Owen have subscribed to my channel, and a lot of my family have subscribed as well. We need a Doctor Who picture for our stairs. Dad, you're not having my Doctor Who posters for the stairs. No, they're staying on my wall. I saw the place the Sea Devils was in Highlands, and I saw Stonehenge from the Demons. Oh, that's actually really great, actually. That's really great information. Stonehenge from the Demons. So I want to go. I do want to kind of go up to filming locations for Doctor Who from the past. I mean, I live near one up in Ironbridge, and I'm planning on getting the bus soon. Hi Paul, I love your channel. For one Doctor Who fan to another, keep up the good work. In your opinion, do you think the Blu-ray sets are worth it? Does the picture quality look better? Any better? Right, Dean. Thank you for subscribing to my channel, and thank you for saying I'm doing a good work. The collection range are absolutely worth it. I mean, the picture quality is better. 5.1 surround sound. Some stories have had a little bit of working done for the special effects. The Blu-ray sets, I absolutely love collecting them. I mean, I've got all 11 sets so far. I'm really hoping that season 2's next in the collection range. I do want season 2, but really badly. And they are absolutely worth it. Like, even though they're like 50, when they came out they were like 40 quid, now they're going up to £45. I still think that's quite worth it. I really do think that's quite worth it. I'm kind of glad some of the prices have dropped on the collection range since the kind of like what they're called, the standard releases have been coming out. So I kind of like the way how that's kind of back down a bit, back down the prices for the box sets for the collection range. I love the limited edition sets. They're just absolutely genuinely fantastic. Jamie Smith, bring back the Savine. Yes, honestly, Jamie, yes. What is your favourite story / episode with each Doctor? So what is my favourite story from each Doctor? Now, that is a really good question. Am I allowed to include Big Finish into that as well? Because of the 8th Doctor. Am I allowed to add Big Finish into that? Or I'm going to do it anyway. So for Hartnell, my favourite story is the Aztecs, because that is just generally a good story. I love the fact when Hartnell's Doctor talks to Barbara, where she's there trying to like change history, and he goes, "You cannot change history, not one line. Believe me, I know. I know." I really do love that one. And for Patrick Troughton, my favourite Troughton story is Tomb of the Cybermen. The Tomb of the Cybermen, because that was my very first ever Patrick Troughton story I ever watched. And normally when I watch Doctor Who stories, I normally watch them with my dad, but this one I didn't. I actually watched this one with my granddad when I stopped over at his, when he was living in Market Drayton at the time. And I sat down to watch UK Gold with him, and they were showing for the very first time the Tomb of the Cybermen. And I remember watching Tomb of the Cybermen, and I remember being really, really thrilled. That's one of the stories why the Cybermen are literally my second favourite. When you see them coming out of like the cocoons and kind of like pushing their way through, and then the cyber controller, that's one of my favourite things about Tomb of the Cybermen. For Jon Pertwee, my favourite story for Jon Pertwee is of course the Three Doctors. The Three Doctors, even though it's got Hartnell and Patrick Troughton, and of course Jon Pertwee, it's even got Omega as well, which is just generally fantastic, and I do love Omega. Tom Baker, now, this one's going to be hard, because I've got two favourites for Tom Baker. There's Genesis of the Daleks, which is just generally one of the best stories, because it introduces Davros. It's kind of an origin story for the Daleks as well, and it works so well. And to kind of see that the Time Lords want to interfere with the Daleks' creation before the Time War, which is the first act of the Time War. Believe it or not, Russell T Davies has said that. My second favourite Tom Baker story is The City of Death. I just really love The City of Death. It's one of those stories I can just go back and continue rewatching and rewatching and rewatching. I mean, Tom Baker's got some great lines, and there goes,
"What a wonderful butler, so violent. Why, you're probably a wonderful. You probably think you're wonderful. You know what I mean?"
I do love that line, Tom. Peter Davison, my favourite story has got to be Earthshock. Earthshock is just superb. I love Earthshock with the 87 where they come through and goes,
"So, we meet again, Doctor."
I really love Earthshock. For Colin Baker, my favourite story, I have to say this one has really boosted up quite a lot, and that's helped with the Blu-ray box set, is Ventures on Varos. Ventures on Varos I really enjoy. Ventures on Varos is just really a fantastic story. I love the way Syl is. I love the way he literally tries to manipulate the governor. The way he literally tries to manipulate the governor, and he backfires when his people find Cytron 7 on another planet, which is just great. So the rest of McCoy, my favourite story from McCoy is The Curse of Fenric. Curse of Fenric is absolutely brilliant, honestly. I really love it. For Paul McGann, I have to say, I have to go through Big Finish for this one. And my favourite story is, I have to say, it's the whole kind of story arc for Dark Eyes 1. Because Dark Eyes 1 is just really phenomenal. It's my favourite Big Finish story for Paul McGann. It's honestly, it brings a new companion into it. It's got Daleks in it. You kind of hear how deep and dark the Eighth Doctor's kind of getting, and he's like wants to change stuff, and really great. I really do love that one. For Heckelson, my favourite story has got to be Dalek. I love Dalek. It's just really, really great. For Tennant, I'm probably going to say this one because it's a good one. Waters of Mars. That's my favourite Tennant story. I love the way the Doctor snaps to become the Time Lord victorious. I don't like the way the End of Time kind of just ruined all that. Because the Waters of Mars set up so much for the 10th Doctor to become the Time Lord victorious, and then all of a sudden he comes at the TARDIS in the End of Time, being all kind of smug and smarty and stuff, and he locks the TARDIS up by pressing the key like a car, which is very, very stupid. I really don't like that, but that's one thing I have to say. The rest of it, I have to admit, I love Waters of Mars. Waters of Mars is brilliant. My Auntie Vicky says she's going out night. Gorgeous. Night, Auntie Vicky, Uncle Dale. Hope you have a good time. Have a good night's sleep. For Matt Smith, my favourite story from Matt Smith has got to be The Day of the Doctor. I really do like that from Matt Smith. It's generally my favourite story from Matt Smith's run, I have to be honest. Peter Capaldi has got to be World's Nothing Time, The Doctor Falls, and Twice Upon a Time. I do class this to be a trilogy. I think it should be released as a trilogy on Blu-ray and DVD. It's honestly one of the best stories for Capaldi. I mean, 3 versions of Salmon, 2 versions of The Master, 1 epic regeneration going on. What more do we need? It's just honestly fantastic going through there and then. For Jodie Whittaker, if I was going to be honest with you, it has got to be... Oh, so hard because there's so many great ones, and I have to be honest, it's Associate of the Cybermen. I really do like Associate of the Cybermen. that's my favourite stories from each Doctor. Will you be collecting the collection range in the 4K, or will when they start coming out the classic ones? No, I actually generally won't, because I'm spending a lot of money on the collection range, and if they were going to add more documentaries and stuff, what they're doing for the collection range, then probably, yeah, but at the moment it's a big whopping no. I don't really think I will be doing that. Claire Howard asked me my least favourite episode for New Who. My least favourite episode of New Who has generally got to be the Christmas Invasion, because Christmas Invasion is just terrible. Honestly, I don't like that episode. I mean, the Doctor basically comes at the TARDIS, collapses on Mickey and Jackie, with Rose kind of coming at the TARDIS saying, where is he? Where is he? Where's the Doctor? That's it, right in front of you. That's the Doctor? What do you mean that's the Doctor? Doctor Who? It's like, I don't really like the Christmas Invasion. I mean, the only good thing about that is the cigarettes, and they have returned for a Big Finish story, which I do want to get with Sylvester McCoy. But I don't really like the Christmas Invasion, because the Christmas Invasion is just generally a terrible kind of story. I mean, half of it, the 10th Doctor is just in bed after regenerating. Now, when you watch a post-regeneration Doctor, it doesn't matter what it is. If it's Patrick Troughton, he gets up, goes at the TARDIS, finds out what the Daleks are doing, and blows up the Daleks. If it's John Pertwee, he just takes on the Autons. He's like in hospital because that isn't his fault. He collapses, tries to escape, go back to the TARDIS, he gets shot, and then he goes and defeats the Autons. Tom Baker, straight away, he takes on a big giant robot, and after picking out an amazing costume, like coming out with different costumes each time. Peter Davison, Castrovalva, fantastic, even though it does kind of suffer from regeneration amnesia. The Twin Dilemma is terrible for a post-regeneration story, especially when you see him attacking Perry. I really don't like that bit. I really don't like that one. And then, of course, if we're going to go for Sylvester McCoy for Tom and Arani, that's absolutely a good one. It does have its problems, but that is because it was supposed to be filmed with Colin Baker. It wasn't supposed to be Sylvester McCoy's first story until the end of the episode, but because Colin Baker refused to go into film his regeneration, they had to change the regeneration from the end of the episode to the beginning of the episode, and then just put Sylvester McCoy in Colin Baker's outfit, which, to be honest, it's just, I can understand why, because Colin Baker wouldn't go back, but to make Sylvester McCoy sit in Colin Baker's outfit, doing the kind of regeneration scenes, just not really great, is it? I mean, the TV movie, that classes as a regeneration and post-regeneration. That one's kind of okay. I do like that one, even though the 8th Doctor does get regeneration amnesia, and then it comes back through looking through the Eye of Harmony. I can't really say much for the War Doctor, because we haven't had a War Doctor post-regeneration story yet. Heckleson, can't really say, because we haven't had a post-regeneration with Heckleson. Tennant's post-regeneration story is just terrible. I really don't like the Christmas Invasion. If I was going to say which Doctors have had the best post-regeneration stories, for me to sit here and say which Doctors have the best post-regeneration stories, it's got to be Peter Capaldi, Matt Smith, Tom Baker, John Pertwee, Patrick Troughton, and Peter Davison. They're the only 6 Doctors that have great post-regeneration stories, where some stuff really hasn't worked for the show, for the post-regeneration stuff. And that's the one thing about it. It's just like, yeah, you know, this isn't really a fantastic sort of story, you know, the Doctor regenerates, you've got a post-regeneration story. Yeah. Got a few more questions. Night, Uncle Dale, and night, Auntie Vicky. Any more questions? That's the thing about the Savine. I love your channel, thank you. Yeah, I think that's all the questions so far. If anyone's got any more questions, please keep on coming. If you've got any more questions you want me to ask, answer for you. Now, the one thing I'm quite looking forward to actually adding into my collection is a couple of more Big Finish audios, because I've got 2 coming out at the end of this month, and then of course I've got 1 coming out in the end of August, which is Out of Time 3, which is Wink. Well, I'm quite looking forward to that one, because that's Colin Baker meets David Tennant. So, not 2 great Doctors in my opinion, but very much average. Very much average. Kind of looking forward to that one. That's when they take on the Weeping Angels. Really do take on the Weeping Angels in that one, which is iconic, actually. Any more comments? Have I missed any questions? More questions? Thomas Stevens. Yeah, Galaxy 4. Yeah, Galaxy 4, I kind of enjoy the animation for that one. If it was existing, I think that would probably be a different kind of one. Any ideas for title of the Salimentary special? No, honestly, I've been trying to think like what they would have called it. I mean, if you're going by specials, you wouldn't think they would have called it like a big whopping special, like. But I don't know what they're going to call it. I would actually like to call, if they were going to call it something, I would have loved to see it to be called. Oh, I did think of it. Where's that piece of paper I had with the names I've read for what I think they could be? Here we are. So I've actually written down two questions. Well, two basically. The first one is the fall of the Doctor, the 13th Doctor. Even though it does sound like the Doctor falls with Peter Capaldi, I kind of changed it a bit. The fall of the Doctor, not the Doctor falls, which I think would have been interesting. Which is actually a good story title, I think. And the second one is the Revenge of the Master. I really think that would be a good one as well to actually call it. Jamie Arrowsmith. If you could write a Doctor Who story, where would you go and what villain would it be? This one I have to be honest with. I have actually written a Doctor Who story that I really want to get a laptop and type it up. Honestly, if I could, I would actually call it Doctor Who, the Plague, the Deadly Plague, which will be a fantastic Dalek story, because with the Third Doctor, I have written it. It's in one of my folders somewhere. I wrote it quite a while ago. And the planet is actually, I've actually named a new planet called the planet Carve, where the planet Carve is this human colony, and the Daleks are trying to test out a new deadly virus, a deadly plague, where they fire it onto the planet through an atom bomb, and it detonates, start killing the population until the first Doctor arrives on the planet. This story would actually take place in between the Green Death and, of course, the Time Warrior, where he's just left Jo, and he literally goes in this tries to go into somewhere else, and then of course he finds out these human colonists are being poisoned. He works out what the poison is, and then he finds out the Daleks are part of it. Now this would be a fantastic Dalek story, because the thing is about Daleks, they are very, very great scientists, and that's how they were back in the 60s and early 70s until Destiny of the Daleks, and that's when the Daleks kind of lost their kind of fantastic wave that they were. And that's the one thing I have to say about it. I would have brought that story I've actually written, and I'm hoping if I can find it, I will probably do a whole video about it. What I've written down for it is the fact I would have loved to see the Doctor kind of come across a whole army of Daleks, and it would have brought back the return of the Dalek Supreme from Planet of the Daleks. That's one thing I'm going to say about that one. When do you think the Abominable Snowmen will be released? To be honest, Killer, I would have thought it would have been released round about now. I really would have thought we would have had a release date for it now, or August, but nothing's coming out. I mean, I don't know why they're holding it back. I don't know if it's because it's the last animation that's been in partnership with BBC America or what, but the thing is though, I'm kind of hoping we get it in September, October time, because it would be really, really stupid if they just announced it back last year on Doctor Who's birthday for them to release it in November. That would be very, very stupid of the BBC to do that. Like,
oh, we've released the trailer. Oh no, I know what to do. Yeah, we just released it round about in the next 12 months.
That just makes no point. I am sorry to say it. It really makes no general point why they would do that. But I'm kind of hoping we get a release date in September, because I do want to actually have that story. Back in February, believe it or not, I actually went and bought the Target novel book, and I have done my review on that story as well. On the Target book of The Abominable Snowmen, and it's a brilliant book as well. The Second Doctor is very, very cunning when it comes to gas, the great intelligence and stuff. So I'm kind of hoping the animation sticks, like, kind of does really, really well. I'll just stay with the Target novel book or the script. James, with cool ideas, mate. You know how to write a good Doctor Who story there. Yeah, I've used to write quite a lot of Doctor Who stories, because I've written back growing up, I used to have a big massive notepad full of them back at Thomas Adams, Jamie, when we both were there. If you remember, I read quite a few good stories, especially on the computer at school as well. I can actually remember two of the stories I've written. The first one was basically called the Return of the Master, and that was the Fourth Doctor story. I believe you read that when they printed it off, and there was quite a few other ones as well. And imagine if they released modern Doctor Who stories / episodes on DVD and Blu-ray with the same cover art as the classic Doctor Who. Yes, that's the one thing that really bugs me about the Modern Who DVDs, is that when you line them up, especially with the volumes, and you line them up with the kind of like these, not with the box sets, but with the volumes, and it doesn't look right that you go from each Doctor's face, and then you kind of got like Eccleston's face down below of that, and then you kind of got that kind of like different solid colours. I would have loved it if they would have kept it like the classic style. Yeah, mate, great response, and you're so true. I would absolutely love it if they kept it with the classic style. Honestly, if I could, I would probably say, you know, let's bring modern Doctor Who back out on DVD and Blu-ray, and let's put them in with the classics so they can actually line up with the Doctor's faces. But there again, though, I'm kind of hoping we get re-releases of steelbooks, because I'm only missing 3 steelbooks, which is Series 1 steelbook, the special steelbook, and of course Series 9. So I'm kind of hoping at some point the BBC will just be really, really nice to us fans and re-release Series 1, the specials, and 9, because I really want those seasons on Blu-ray. I really, really do. And I have been trying to talk my best mate around to let me have his one, haven't I, Jamie? But no, no, I don't think I'll ever get that one. I hope I do. I do want Series 1 steelbook, I do want the special steelbook, and I do want the Series 9 steelbook. I do have Torchwood on Blu-ray as well, to be honest with you. If I could bring a spin-off onto Blu-ray, I want the Sarah Jane Adventures. I really want the Sarah Jane Adventures. I really do, because the Sarah Jane Adventures is absolutely an amazing series. Actually, have I got them? Yeah. Here we are. I actually got the Sarah Jane Adventures in this box set, and I would actually love to have this on Blu-ray in full HD from Series 1 to 5, because the Sarah Jane Adventures is another iconic show, and I really think it needs more love and more, bring it back out in the public's eyes, since Elizabeth Sladen passed away in 2011. And I would have thought, with these Doctor Who The Collection range coming out, I would have loved to see them do one for the Sarah Jane Adventures and Torchwood. And Jamie's Port. Whoopsie. Yeah, mate, don't worry about it. I'm just playing you up a bit. Even though I do want your Series 1 steelbook. I really do. I have offered to swap in my one. Do you think Diamonds in Time will ever get a home media release? To be honest, I don't really know. I cannot guarantee it. I mean, when you think about it, yes, we kind of had some of the Doctors like past, like The Curse of Fatal Death came out in home media. We have Scream of the Shalko on home media. It would make sense if they had Dimensions in Time, but the only way I can actually see them bringing out Dimensions in Time is if they do a Wonderlist box set in the collection range, with not just only with the Doctor Who movie. I think they could have done it, like do it with The Curse of Fatal Death, Scream of the Shalka, Dimensions in Time. I really think they could do something like that, and the Paul McGann Shada as well. Or just do like one whole disc with Paul McGann in that Wonderlist box set. Or do it in like this, where they, instead of it, they animate some of his Big Finish audios, which I think that would be a great way to release the Wonderlist box set with Paul McGann's face on. Like bring some of his stories in animation from Big Finish as well, to release that box set. That's the only way I can see that one coming out. I would like to see the Trickster in Doctor Who going forward. Yes, that is a bit of a missing opportunity, because they could have done it with Matt Smith's run or Capaldi's run, especially with Stephen Moffat being good friends with Russell T Davies. But now Russell T Davies back, I think, yeah, possibly. I think the Trickster would probably come back. I'm not too sure. If I was going to say anything about the 60th anniversary, I kind of got a few hopes for that one. I hope it's not just Tennant, because it's 60 years of Doctor Who. Yes, Tennant was a popular Doctor. I kind of want more multi-Doctors. If they can, make a few stories with Tennant, and then just bring some of the Doctors' past faces in for the adventures. Like, say you bring Matt Smith into it, or Peter Capaldi, or better still, get some of the classic Doctors back. Bring back Tom Baker or Peter Davison. The only two Doctors I think that need a proper comeback in the modern Who is Colin Baker and Sylvester McCoy. Because if you think about it, Tom Baker came back for a little cameo in The Day of the Doctor, and Peter Davison came back for Time Crash. So I kind of think, yeah, you know, it's about time they kind of did a special with Colin Baker or Sylvester McCoy. You know what? Have Nuki Gatwick, Nick Shooty Gatwick, have him with Sylvester McCoy working together. You know, that would actually be very entertaining for them to do. Really entertaining for them to do, if they could do that. I would like to see the Trickster back. Any more questions I've missed? So I'm trying to see if I missed any questions of people. Have I missed any good questions? If I have, I am sorry if I missed any good questions. I'm trying to see if I've missed any. If I could, I want to go back onto the subject of. Hang on. I would love Scream of the Shelf. Hang on, there's two questions here. Do you think Neil Patrick Harrison is the Celestial Toymaker in the new leaked photos? How can I say? I would like to see. Like, the thing is, though, with that, it's like saying, oh, the Celestial Toymaker's coming back. But the thing is, though, there's kind of another Doctor Who villain that literally made toys come to life and stuff, which is the Master. Not the Time Lord Master, the one from the Land of Fiction, from the Mind Robber. So that's the thing. I don't know if I could actually generally say, oh, it is the Celestial Toymaker, because that would absolutely be fantastic if it is the Celestial Toymaker, or is it the Master from the Mind Robber? If it's the Master from the Mind Robber, from the Land of Fiction, with when we had the TARDIS soldiers, when the Doctor basically had to press the TARDIS button to make it until it was out of the universe, I think it could be him. But if it is the Celestial Toymaker, I'd be thrilled, because the Celestial Toymaker was supposed to come back in the original plans for season 23, when they were going to do a story in Blackpool, and then the hiatus came and the original stories were scrapped, and then of course we got Trial of a Time Lord. So I kind of think, yeah, you know what, if it's the Celestial Toymaker, I'd be thrilled. I honestly would be. I'd be thrilled. Doctor Who Magic Entertainment. I would love Scream of the Shalka to get a Blu-ray release on its own. Yes, I really think Scream of the Shalka will probably do really, really well, because not only is it a animation story, it's got one of the biggest actors' names in the 21st century so far, which is Richard D. Grant. If you think of all the stuff Richard D. Grant has done, not just Doctor Who wise, if you look at all of his movies he's done, I mean, he was even in Loki season 1 last year. Richard D. Grant is really one of the big names, and I think, yeah, you know what, Scream of the Shalka it would actually not only boost up money for Doctor Who, but people will be like, hang on a minute, Richard D. Grant did Doctor Who. You know, we've got to pick that up. If he's good in Loki, he's going to be good in Doctor Who as the Doctor. So, yeah, I really think it would benefit from that. Any more questions I missed? I hope all of you are enjoying my live videos. This live Q&A at the moment. I am really hoping. I was a bit nervous. Yeah, so true, and yeah, I totally agree with you on that one, mate. Amazing answer. Yeah, the thing is, though, if it is going to be the Celestial Toymaker, I think it will be fantastic, because the Celestial Toymaker kind of made it like the Celestial Toymaker in season 3. That is a good story, even though I've only watched episode 4, because I don't like loose cannons. I'm sorry to say that, I don't like recreations with the pictures and soundtracks and stuff. I just can't get through them, and I find it like really, really hard to try and stick into it. Where if you're going to do something that's honestly amazing, I think bringing back the Celestial Toymaker, yeah, you would probably benefit from that one. I really think the BBC would actually benefit, but the rest of it is like, yeah, you know. But the thing is, though, everyone's like, at the moment, everyone's just like saying, oh, the Celestial Toymaker's coming back, and I'm like thinking, hang on a minute, what if it's the Master from the Mind Robber, you know, not the Time Lord version of the Master, the other Master, you know, and I'm just like, yeah, hang on a minute, I kind of see what people are trying to do and stuff, but, you know, I got, how many people I've got? I've got 9 likes and 3 people watching, and I've done really well, actually. I've had so many people watch this live stream so far, and it's fantastic. And thank you for the 3 of you that have actually sticked and watched this channel live stream. I'm going to try and keep it going for another hour. Jamie, you're doing great work, mate. It's been an amazing stream. Thank you so much, Jamie. Thank you so much. I have been nervous doing this live stream. It's my very first ever live stream, and I was really nervous doing it, and I think I've actually quite enjoyed it, and I might do another live stream at some point. And yeah, this live stream is amazing, mate. You're doing such a great job. Thank you so much, Killer. Thank you so much. I was really nervous of doing the live stream. I really was, because I haven't really been myself lately, and I was really nervous of doing the live stream. I just wanted to do it to try and see if I can get people into the live stream, and I haven't. It's done absolutely brilliant, and all of you have absolutely been amazing. The questions you've asked me, the questions you actually have asked me, and everything's just absolutely been amazing. And I'm sorry that my finger keeps coming across the screen and stuff. Jamie, do you agree with the Timeless Child idea that Dr. Kane's from another universe and gives them Time Lords the ability to regenerate? To be honest, mate, I kind of got mixed feelings about the whole Timeless Child story arc. I have got a really mixed bag of mixed feelings about it, because one, I'm kind of like, oh yeah, that'd be great. Two, I'm like, oh, what have they done that for? What have they done that? What have they made the Doctor Space Jesus? You know, I can't really say on that question, because if it's, because before this whole thing with the Timeless Child, there were hints at it during the classic era, like in the Brain of Morbius, and like the Brain of Morbius, because that was a kind of another Doctor Who great story. And then of course we had Sylvester McCoy's line when he goes to Davros, where he says, I am far more than just another Time Lord. Yeah.
That tells you.
No.
So I think people want to go again.
I've been told I'm doing amazing work. Sorry, my dad's just come and say hello. Come and show your face. This man got me into Doctor Who, people. This is the man that got me into it. This man and my granddad.
Don't forget it's YouTube.
Yes, I won't be charged.
Okay, see you later, buddy.
See you later.
Got work now.
Okay, bye. Bye. Sorry about that. Yeah, me too, mate. It's so good to hear your incredible opinion on the Celestial Toymaker question. I've kind of got some stuff I do want to say about the Celestial Toymaker. It's just, I need to listen to the Nightmare Fair from Big Finish. Jamie Legends. I do really need to sit down and listen, buy myself the Nightmare Fair, because that is another Celestial Toymaker story, and as for the Celestial Toymaker, I've only watched the existing episode of the Celestial Toymaker, and I'm kind of like, you know what, he seems like a good character, and the way the first Doctor tricks him to get the TARDIS to fully work and leave where the Celestial Toymaker is. I need to get the Nightmare Fair, because that is a Colin Baker story, and it was originally planned for season 23, when they were going to do a Blackpool story. So yeah, I kind of need to get that one and see what to actually make of the Celestial Toymaker as a whole character. Doctor Who Magic Entertainment, what story / episode would you watch on a Doctor's actor's birthday? That's actually an interesting one, because when it comes to an actor of Doctor Who, I do watch stories to celebrate their birthday with them. I really do. I have to admit, if I was going to watch for Hartnell's birthday, I have watched the Aztecs, because that's one I really think Hartnell really does become like the Doctor for me. I do like the Daleks, he does become the Doctor in the Daleks, but I kind of think his Doctor becomes his own sort of way in the Aztecs. For Patrick Troughton's birthday, I have watched the Seas of Death before, because the Seas of Death is an iconic story, the second Doctor against Ice Warriors. It's just a fantastic story. For John Pertwee's birthday, back on the 19th of May, which is like 3 days after my birthday, I sat down and I absolutely watched the Sea Devils, because that's just a great story to watch for John Pertwee's birthday. For Tom Baker's birthday, I have watched in the past a couple of his stories. I can't say which ones, because Tom Baker's my all-time favourite Doctor, and I do keep rewatching Tom Baker's run. Sorry, as the fourth Doctor, he's the only Doctor I do go back and rewatch an awful lot. Because for me, I have to be in a mood to watch some Doctors. Is there that? Yeah, definitely that would be a good listen to, mate, and it will help you find out about the Celestial Toymaker and how incredible his character is, mate. Black Costa, do you like chinchillas? I can't really say, because I've not really had a chinchilla before. I've not really had a pet of a chinchilla, because I'm more of a cat person. Yeah, I kind of do need to get that story so I can dive into more character depth for the Celestial Toymaker killer, because honestly, if it is the Celestial Toymaker, I want to do my research on the character and then watch the episode and go, yeah, you know what, he ain't a bad character, is he? Because I've only watched episode 4 of the Celestial Toymaker, I have tried to watch the loose canon episodes 1 to 3 of the Celestial Toymaker, and I just couldn't get into it. I really couldn't. I had to turn it off, because at one point, my friend copied a load of the loose canon stories for me to sit down and to watch, thanks to her help. Her name was Hannah, and the Celestial Toymaker was one of them, but I couldn't really get into the loose canon episode, so I went in and put the Lost in Time box set and watched episode 4 of that existing story. I mean, Thomas Stevens, if you know him, he's actually one of my subscribers and one of my good friends, and he's absolutely brilliant, and he's recommended me to try and get the Nightmare Fair, which is on my list, because I've got quite a few stories I do want to listen to, and I do want to dive into deep depths with certain characters. I have to admit, I really do. Any more questions? Jamie, Aerosmith Legends. Yeah. Anyway, Jamie, back to your question, sorry. Do you agree with the Timeless Child's idea that the Doctor comes from another universe? As I say, it has been hinted in before. Like with the Brain of Morbius, and remember it's the Daleks with the Doctors doing speeches like, I am far more than just another Time Lord. And the fact, I kind of like the idea that the Time Lord's got the ability to regenerate from the Doctor, but to make the Doctor kind of like a space Jesus, kind of like, I can't really explain how I feel about the Timeless Child story arc, I'm afraid. I'm hoping it does kind of get tied up in the Scientific Special, because if it's just going to be hanging over whatever's next to come from Russell T Davies, I'm going to be really annoyed, because Chibnall started off something with the Timeless Child arc. I want to see it end in the Scientific Special, I really do, because I think that otherwise I just think there'd be no point into that kind of story arc for the 13th Doctor, with the whole Timeless Child story arc. I really think if you're not going to finish it, you should not have started it. I'm sorry to say that. That's how I feel about it. Because, yes, you have set up so many great stuff, but other things, you know, I don't like when Doctor Who stories just kind of leave on an arc opening and that's it. I mean, I really don't like Sleep No More, because that ends on like a cliffhanger sort of thing, and then it's not being revisited, and I'm like, what's the point in Sleep No More? Peter Capaldi, I really don't think I don't really see the point for that one. So yeah, you know, I don't really see the point of the Timeless Child if he's just going to leave it hanging. There's so many great if I could say who would I like to see come back into Doctor Who, because there are so many great characters and villains that we've had in the show's 60 odd years, well, 59 years, 60 next year, I've got to stop saying that because I always, when people ask me about the 6th year, it's like, oh yeah, it's next year. I don't think it's this year, but it's not. If I could say, if I wanted to see some Doctor Who characters come back in Russell T Davies' era, it would probably be the Irani, the Black Guardian, the Trickster. I would love to see the Metropolis spiders to come back at some point, because these spiders had the power of telepathy, jumping on people's back and going invisible and stuff, so I would like to see them kind of come back. I would like to see other past monsters come back. I would actually like to see the one Doctor Who monster I think hadn't had much stuff going on. Like the one monster I think that should come back, but they haven't brought it back or brought them back, and I really would like to see that. It is of course the Paladons, you know, because after the monsters of Paladon's not really been touched on apart from Big Finish, and I would love to see them try and come back and tackle Big Paladon. Good point, Jamie also says. Russell will do his own thing for sure. He write the companion family stuff well, and we are well connected to the companions during his run. Yeah, he did do that for us, but there again, though, he did kind of made Rose and the Doctor the whole lovey-dovey sort of thing and everything else, and blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah. And that's the one thing I have to say about it, really. If with Russell T Davies coming back, I don't want no lovey-dovey stuff. Honestly, I just wish to kind of cut that out, because I kind of want them to go back to the roots of the classic Doctor Who. None of the lovey-dovey stuff. It's just the Doctor coming across a human, showing him the universe, they depart, he gets lonely, gets a new companion, or gets a couple of new companions. I kind of want the whole thing about Classic Who to come back. Generally, I just want a whole lot of Classic Who to come back and stuff. Would we see Omega again? Matt Smith's run had Omega symbols on soldiers' uniforms and Goodman Goes Tour. Yes, I do remember you talking to me about that at school, but if Omega was to return, I kind of want them to try and continue it from Big Finish, because the thing about Big Finish, Jamie, they've done so many great stories with Doctor Who villains. I mean, they have brought back Omega in the Time War stuff. I've not listened to any of the Gallifrey Time War stuff yet, but I'm hoping to. That is on my list, so don't worry, that is definitely on the list. And if they want to, I would say if they want to bring Omega back, they would have done by now. That's the thing, because they brought back the Time Lords, then they killed the Time Lords, and then they're gone, you know, they're gone. It's very, very timey-wimey modern eras, because one minute the Time Lords are dead, then they save the Time Lords, and then we go back to them being dead again, and then they will get resurrected into Cybermasters. You know, it's like, what's the point in this? What's the point just like the killing, bringing them all back from the Time War, just so the Master, a lunatic, can go around killing them and put them into Cybermaster bodies? It makes absolutely, generally no sense to do that. I mean, if I was going to talk about anything, it would probably be the plot holes in Doctor Who, like with the Daleks. There's so many great plot holes that's absolutely genuinely been missed. But to your question, if Omega will return, I want him to return. Omega would absolutely be a villain, I think, would actually have some good justice with New Who, because in Classic Who, he's only had 2 appearances. Once within the 3 Doctors, we battled against the 2nd and 3rd Doctors. Don't you finish stories on Doctors' birthdays? You didn't finish. Oh no, sorry. I'm trying to keep up with the questions. Doctor Who Magic. So where was I saying? Hartnell's birthday. I have watched the Aztecs. Charlton is basically the Seas of Death. Pertwee is the Sea Devils. Anything with Tom Baker, honestly. For Pete Davidson's birthday, I absolutely go back and rewatch Earthshock, because that's just a great story for Peter Davidson's Doctor. Not my favourite, but it's one of the best ones for me. Colin Baker, I have to admit. Colin Baker's Doctor, I'll probably rewatch Attack of the Cybermen, and I'll probably go back and watch that on Blu-ray. Sylvester McCoy's birthday, I have watched in the past. Because he just said, well, to be honest, I'll go back and rewatch Survival, because Sylvester McCoy's birthday is the same birthday as Sophie Aldred and Anthony Ainley, and that's the story with just the 3 of them technically in together. So I do go back and rewatch Survival for their birthdays, because it's like one story. Paul McGann's birthday, I haven't really done nothing for Paul McGann's birthday because I've only just got into Paul McGann in Big Finish this year. So when it comes to his birthday, I'll probably go back and re-listen to a couple of Paul McGann Big Finish audios. John Hurt's birthday, Day of the Doctor. Heckelson's birthday, I have rewatched Rose, which I really do enjoy Rose, the very first episode of Series 1. Tennant's birthday, how can I say this? Tennant's birthday, I haven't really done nothing for Tennant's birthday, to be honest, because Tennant's my least favourite Doctor, and it's not really fair that I leave him out, is it? So I probably will watch a Doctor Who on his birthday when it comes around, but I haven't really done nothing for it yet. Matt Smith's birthday, I've watched a load of episodes from Matt Smith's film, because he's one of the Doctors I really enjoy from Modern Who. I mean, he's my third favourite Doctor out of Modern Who, and I do re-watch a lot of his series stuff. Over the couple of months, I have re-watched a lot of Matt Smith stuff. They're just fantastic stories Matt Smith's run is. Peter Capaldi's birthday, I will probably watch my favourite episode, which is Heaven Sent. Heaven Sent is just an iconic story for Peter Capaldi, and I love it. Jodie Whittaker's birthday, I will probably go back and re-watch Flux. I'll probably re-watch all of Flux. I will probably spend 6 hours watching Flux, because I really love Flux. That's the only series out of Jodie's run I really enjoy. I have to admit, I really did enjoy that one. I just hope we see Paladon again. I just wish they did more stories in the classic era of Paladon, mate, and seeing the incredible characters again. Yes, that's the one thing I really think Classic Who did miss, is the Paladon stuff. Yes, I do know in Big Finish this year they did a whole Paladon box set with Colin Baker, with Paul McGann, and I believe there was another Doctor, but I can't remember which one, because I haven't looked at the cover artwork for a while. I kind of do want to go and watch that kind of box, listen to that box set of the Paladon Tales, because I do want Paladon to return. And just to find out what happened after the Monsters of Paladon, you know, did the Federation stay in one piece? Not the Federation from Star Trek, the Federation with the Ice Warriors, Centi Alpha Tauri, the kind of monster thing in the jar. I can't remember his name, from the Curse of Paladon. He's not really in the Monster of Paladon, he's only in like the Curse and stuff, so I really want to go back and rewatch them. Really do want to go back and rewatch them. So many of you have absolutely bringed up some fantastic points for this video, for this Q&A. You've asked me some really great questions and stuff, and I'm really grateful to answer them for you. I really am. See if I can go back up to the beginning. Joseph Adam asked me what we get next announcement of season 2 and 9. I think I've answered that one. Yeah, I think I've answered all the questions so far. Yeah, I think I have actually answered quite a few questions. If I read all the ones I've written down, that was posted on my video announcement video, yeah, I've actually written all them down as well. Any more questions anyone would like to ask me? You know, I kind of want this to go a bit longer. And I think I'm doing really, really well for my first live chat. I really think. Which superhero would you like the Doctor to meet? Oh. If I could say, I would have loved the 12th Doctor to meet Iron Man. I really would, because he would have ripped Tony Stark apart.
You call this a suit to save the universe? You know, it's just a piece of metal, you know? The 12th Doctor would have ripped apart Tony Stark's suit, wouldn't he? You can just imagine Capaldi's Doctor doing that. If I could say, if I want a future Doctor, say Nick Shooty Gatwick, I can't say his name properly. Can someone please tell me if it's Nick, is it Nick Guti or is it Shooty Gatwow? Something like that. I can't say his name properly. I am sorry. I've got speech impediment and stuff, and I am trying my best to say. I am trying my really best to get his name correctly, and I think I've said it wrong so many times. So many times I think I've said it wrong. If I have, please forgive me. I have got learning difficulties, and I'm trying my best to say his name properly. If I could, I would actually have Jodie Whittaker bump into Captain Marvel. I think that would have been a good Marvel Doctor Who spin-off. I mean, once upon a time, Marvel Comics were actually doing Doctor Who comics, and I would have loved for Doctor Who to be in the same universe with Marvel, because then you can have Jodie Whittaker's 13th Doctor meet Captain Marvel. Yeah, that would have been perfect, I think. Honestly, I think that would have been good. Any more questions I've missed, or... I think this is going on really, really well. I think I have. It's well, what's going on? 19 minutes and 25 seconds. Yeah, I think I've done really, really well, I think. I've gone for... Oh, I've only got 3 people left watching me. Yeah, I think everyone's gone to bed. I think I did this at a really late point. I am sorry to say that. I think I did it a bit later. So if I was going to do another live kind of video, I will probably wait until a weekend. Probably a Saturday night or a Sunday night. I think I probably will do a Saturday or Sunday next. Mate, when are you going to do your review on Dark Eyes 3? If you have done the review, when will it be out? It's already out, mate. I've already done a review on Dark Eyes 3. I did that 2 months ago. I've actually done a little folder with all my reviews. I've done a little folder with all my reviews, and I think it's on there. I think it's actually on there. I know I filmed it, and I think I did actually post it, because it's a picture with just Paul McGann and Alex McQueen's Master. If you're on about Dark Eyes 4, I haven't got that box set, because every time I've gone to buy it, it's either out of stock on Amazon, or somebody's asking a really stupid price on eBay. Jamie Harrowsmith, you a good first Q&A. You should be very proud. Honestly, mate, I am. I really am proud. I've done this far. I am got really shocked. I've actually done quite well, and I'm kind of grateful to all my viewers and subscribers. Doctor Who Magic Entertainment. Could you pair each Doctor with a superhero? To be honest, yeah, I probably could. I mean, imagine the first Doctor with Black Widow. When she goes and knocks somebody out. You cannot do that. No, I will not allow it. That would get a Johnny Smack bottom. Or say the second Doctor with Captain America or something like that. Or I think Tom Baker and if I can sit here, I'm going to try and sit here and think now. Hartnell, I think, would be great with Black Widow. Troughton's Doctor, I think... Troughton's Doctor, I can't really think, really. I really can't think which superhero would go well with Troughton's Doctor. Pertwee's Doctor, probably Captain America, because you know John Pertwee's Doctor does the kind of, I can't say the actual word of the martial arts he does, where he just goes, hey! I can't think of the actual word, but I think he will go well with Captain America, because, you know, Captain America goes, I can do this all day. Tom Baker, I think he'll be really good with Batman. The fourth Doctor with Batman. You cannot do that, you know. Why are you wearing a scarf? Why are you wearing a bat costume? That would be funny. Peter Davison's Doctor with a superhero. Probably Spider-Man. Probably Spider-Man for Peter Davison. Colin Baker with a superhero. I'll have to say Batman again for Colin Baker. Because, you know, because the Sixth Doctor is quite dark and Batman's dark as well. Sylvester McCoy, Tony Stark. I think Sylvester McCoy and Tony Stark will get on really, really well. I have to genuinely think. Paul McGann. I have to say with... I can't think. Paul McGann's Doctor was... it's a very hard question which Doctor will go well with a superhero. I'll probably need to do another video. I will actually do a video on that one because I need to sit down and think which Doctor would be good with a superhero, because I am trying to think for you. Doctor Who's Magic Entertainment. I am sorry, I can't fully think of the top of my head. You know, it's just some great stuff with superheroes. And which Doctor, it's just trying to work out which Doctor would actually get on well with each superhero. I mean, with Hartnell, I think with Black Widow, he would put her in her place a little bit, and then she would put him in his place. I think with Pertwee, it would definitely be Captain America. With Tom Baker, I think it would be Batman. I really think Tom Baker with Batman. Batman with either the 4th Doctor or the 6th Doctor. I think that would be one of the best things if they were going to do a Doctor Who superhero crossover. But mind you, I think after that Christmas special, the return of Doctor Mysterio, I really think they wouldn't do another superhero episode. Because that didn't do well. Killer, yeah, thanks mate, I will check it out soon. I think I have already done a review on it, because I think I did about 2 months ago. I haven't got Dark Eyes 4, because every time I go to order it from Amazon, it's gone to sell out. Even if I look the day before and it sells out automatically, it's like, ah! And then of course eBay, you can either buy it with a whole set when I've already got 3 of the box sets and I just need the 4th one, and they want £100 for it, or £80, and it's like, what's the point paying that when I've just got to get the 4th one? Or for the 4th one on its own, I've seen it, believe it or not, for £150. I don't know if Dark Eyes 4 is that popular. I don't know what makes it popular. I don't really get why it sells out so quick on Amazon. I really don't know why. That one sells quick. I'm really disappointed I haven't got Dark Eyes 4 yet. I mean, when I say I'm really disappointed, I mean I'm very, very disappointed that we haven't got that I can't get my hands on Dark Eyes 4. I really cannot believe I can't get my hands on Dark Eyes 4, even though how ridiculous price it goes up for. Really can't. I think I'll do. Okay. Please do a video pairing the Doctors with superheroes. Yes, I will. I honestly will. I mean, I'm in the middle of I've literally got a list of videos I need to do, what I've been asked to do, because somebody's asked me to do a Davros like timeline, so I'm in the middle of writing that out. I've been asked to do a Cyberman background story from their story, but the thing is though, the Cyberman is another very complicated Doctor Who villain, because you got their main timeline, and then of course you got the Cyber Wars, and then you got into the parallel universe Cybermen, the John Lennox Cybermen, so you got to kind of add that all in as well around the Cyber Wars and stuff. And the centuries with stories with the Cybermen, that gets very confusing as well, because you got the 10th planet set in the 20th century, like on the 20th century and stuff. I am planning on doing a Davros timeline. Honestly, I know Big Finish has picked that up with the Davros series, and I do need to get them so I can listen to them and then write down what actually happens in Davros' timeline, because I only know what the TV series has gone by. I mean, I've only got one Davros story on Big Finish. I've only got one Davros story, which is the Juggernauts. I haven't got no other stories with Davros in, which is something I'm really ashamed to say, that I haven't got any stories with Davros apart from one on Big Finish, and I need to get more Davros stories. I've got all of the stories on TV show. I've got Genesis of the Daleks, I've got Destiny of the Daleks, I've got Revelation of the Daleks, Revolution of the Daleks, and Remembrance of the Daleks with Davros. I've got them on VHS and DVD, and we've literally just got 3 stories out on Blu-ray with Davros. We're just waiting for 2 now, which is Resurrection of the Daleks, and of course Remembrance of the Daleks we're just waiting for in season 21 and 22. And then of course we've got Davros's other stories as well. Dark Eyes 4 is such a brilliant set, and you will get it. When you get it, you will love it, mate. It makes Paul's Doctor more incredible, so I can't wait for your review when you get it. As I said, every time I've tried to go and get it, it just goes out of price, or Amazon sells it, or it's gone up in bloody price, or it's too much expensive, and it's just like, how much do you really want me to pay for one CD box set? I'm not going to fork out, like, say, if I'm a millionaire, I'm not really going to go, oh, take all my money, just for this Big Finish CD.
I'm waiting for it to go down into a good price because I don't really want to spend a fortune on it. Not when I've only spent £30 on Dark Eyes 1, Dark Eyes 2, and Dark Eyes 3. If you know what I'm trying to say, I don't really want to spend a lot of money just for the fourth one when I've only spent
I spent 30, that's 60, 70, 80, 90. Not when I spent 90 quid on the other box sets,
which is because they were literally £30 each when I bought them.
and I wish I would have waited because now they've gone down to price.
To £25 or £28, apart from Dark Eyes 4.
I really need to get
Dark Eyes 4. I really do. Because I know Dark Eyes 4, it brings the Santarans into it, and it's got the Master and the Daleks, and of course,
I'm not too sure if it
has Molly O'Sullivan, because Molly O'Sullivan is my favourite Big Finish companion for the 8th Doctor. I mean, she's honestly, generally, she's my all-time favourite Big Finish companion. Like when she calls the TARDIS a tardy box, and the way she tries to put the 8th Doctor in his place when he's acting a bit like not the 8th Doctor kind of way. And I love the fact the 8th Doctor's kind of got rid of his romantic side in Dark Eyes. I am grateful for that, because of the TV movie, I really think the lovey-dovey stuff came in from the TV movie, I have to be honest with.
Yeah, mate, I totally get that, mate.
Mate.
Yeah, as I was trying to say,
I don't really want to spend a lot of money on Dark Eyes 4, not when I spent 30 quid on the other box sets. It's a shame it keeps going up in price, it really is, because it's just so much ridiculous.
That's the last box set I need, and it either goes from 30 up to others.
Will you do a Doctor Who video putting the Doctors in Hogwarts houses? Yes, I would actually like to do that one, because I'm a Harry Potter fan myself.
I really think that would be a great video
to do, putting Doctors in Harry Potter Hogwarts houses.
I think that would be a great video to do. I really do. Honestly, I'll probably do that. I would actually love to do that. I mean, you can actually imagine
the first 6
Doctors being in Slytherin. I think the second,
3rd and 4th Doctors will be in Gryffindor.
I think the 5th will probably be in Hufflepuff or Ravenclaw.
Yeah, I really think the Darker Doctors will probably be in Slytherin, including the War Doctor in that, because he's the one that killed the Time Lords. Yeah, I will definitely do a video for you for that one. As I was saying, I've got quite a few videos planned that I want to do, because I'd like my channel. I want to expand it. I have got quite a few plans for my channel. I want to get myself a green screen,
so I can do proper
effects. So where I talk about a Doctor Who season, I can actually place pictures behind me instead of me having to insert pictures, or me to show what I'm talking about. Say if I'm reviewing a Big Finish, imagine a nice Big Finish cover behind me on the background instead of me showing the CD and stuff. I do want to get myself a green screen to do that. Got any more good questions you want to ask me? What time is it actually? Oh, 9:45. That's good. That's brilliant actually. An hour and 45 minutes. Yeah, that's good. I'm doing really well, I think. I think I'm doing absolutely perfect for my first live stream. I'm probably will do more. If I will do, I'll probably do an earlier time slot for a video. It'll probably be on a weekend when people are not working or they're tired from working. I need to try and sort another live stream out at some point. I mean, this one I just felt like doing it when I did the announcement Sunday. Has anyone got any more good questions you want to ask me? I'm an open book here. Just ask me anything you want. I'm not really tired. I mean, after I've done this live stream, I'm gonna go and start listening to the 4th Doctor Adventures Series 7 Volumes 1 and 2, because I want to for that Big Finish box set of the 4th Doctor Adventures Volumes 2 and 1. I'm gonna do a whole massive review on that. So I'll talk about each individual stories and then the box sets themselves and what I generally think of Series 7 for the 4th Doctor Adventures. I've got quite a lot of stuff to do. Mate, just to let you know that Dark Eyes 4 is on the Big Finish website for CD
about £29. It says it stays at that price, mate. Oh, brilliant! Thank you, Killer. I did not know that. Honestly, I did not know that. I've been trying to buy it from Amazon and I've been trying to buy it from eBay. If I knew it was on the Big Finish website, I would have gone and got all of them from Big Finish, to be honest with you, but I haven't really got a Big Finish account, so I don't know if I need to make an account to order from them, or if I do, I probably will pre-order a lot of their stories coming out from Future Reference and try and get back some of the stories. So I do kind of want to get me hands on some more 8th Doctor adventures, like with the Doom collection, or is it Ravagers? No, not Ravagers. The one with the R. I can't think of the name of it called. And Stranded. I do want to listen to them a bit. I do want to go back and listen to them. I have got 2 boxes for Time War. I've got Time War 1 and Time War 2, and there will be a review coming out on Time War 2 at some point as well, because I need to listen to that one and do a review on that one at some point. So yeah, and I've also got coming at the end of the month Silver and Ice and Back to Earth for the 7th and 9th Doctors as well. So I'm kind of looking forward to going. Yeah, you know what? I do a proper unboxing video, because I did have one planned for today when season 7 came, but it came literally 2 hours before I started doing this live stream, and I'm like, nah, I'm not really going to do an unboxing video when I'm about to do my live stream. Thank you for telling me about that, though, about Big Finish's website's got Dark Eyes 4. I probably would go and get it off Dark Eyes, actually, when I get paid soon, or when I got a bit of money. Yeah, kind of do need to do that. Yeah, I probably will do. And I'm doing really well. I've got 11 likes. 2 people are watching me still. Thank you for the 2 people that haven't got bored of me. You probably like my mug. It means you like my face. It means you probably like my mug. Yeah, my ugly mug, I should say. Yeah. Got any more questions I've missed? Got any more questions I've missed? Any more questions I've missed? Don't really think so. I think I've answered all of them. No more. Yeah, no. Yeah, mate, no problem. Thank you, Killer, for that information. I probably will get Dark Eyes 4 and then buy it and then listen to it and then do a review, because I love doing my Big Finish reviews. Because since I started the Big Finish reviews, I've been getting more popular, and that's the one thing I have to admit I do absolutely like. If I would show you, just turn that light on a minute because it's starting to get a bit dark. I'll just go and get in front of you and show you my new Big Finishes I've got today, which is the 4th Doctor Adventure Season 7. Just 1 minute. Okay. And I'm back. So, yeah, here is my new Big Finishes I've got today. So we've got the 4th Doctor Adventures Series 7 Volume 1 and the 4th Doctor Adventures Series 7 Volume 2. And the best thing about these is you literally got 7.1 to 7.4, and then you've got 7.5 to 7.8. And this is my very first follow-on season for Tom Baker, because I've got quite a few of Tom's stories, because I've got 1 story from season 1, 1 story from season 4, and 1 story from season 6. But I don't really put them all into season orders. I kind of put them through the companion wise for Big Finish. I kind of, if anything like this, like the 4th Doctor Leela, I put them all together. If I get any stories with the 4th Doctor Romana, I put them all together. I don't really go by series. I just go by how I remember them with the Doctors and companions. And I have to admit, the one story I'm really looking forward to is the Age of Sutekh and Kill the Doctor for this one, which is Series 7 Volume 2. Because I love Sutekh. He's one of my favourite Doctor Who villains in the Pyramids of Mars. The Pyramids of Mars, I have to admit, is just another great Tom Baker story. I have got it here. Here we are. So yeah, the 4th Doctor met Sutekh in this story in Pyramids of Mars, and he's back in Big Finish, and I'm quite looking forward to listening how he survived what the 4th Doctor did when he trapped inside a quantum time loop. I'm kind of looking forward to listening to that one, how he survives. Jamie Ashton said something. Never get bored, mate. Would we see the Dalek Emperor in a new version, or even the Dalek Time Controller on TV? Now is actually an interesting question. I would like to see the Dalek Time Controller, because he's in the Dark Eye series with Paul McGann, and he's actually in the in the Casualties of War box set I've got for John Hurt, and he's a really great Dalek. He's a really great Dalek. I have to admit, it's one of the best Dalek designs, and you get actually seen on the CD covers. If we would see him on TV, I would absolutely love that. It will bring Big Finish more canon in with the TV series, because Big Finish was actually made canon in the 8th Doctor's regeneration scene from the Night of the Doctor, where he mentions his companions from Big Finish. So that's one of the reasons what got me into Big Finish, that is actually done canon wise and stuff. So it's like, oh, okay, the 8th Doctor's companions is canon, so I do kind of class Big Finish now canon with the TV show. I have to admit, I do class it as canon, so yeah, you know, if we're going to get the Dalek Time Controller, yes, definitely, I would love to see that on TV. I really would do. And of course, if we're going to see the Dalek Emperor return, I probably think it will be a new version, because I mean, we've had 2 versions of the Dalek Emperor. We've had the Eve of the Daleks Emperor, and of course the Partners in not Partners in Crime, the Parting of the Ways Dalek Emperor in between. I really think that's like 2 different Dalek Emperors, although people say it's the same one, because the other one did partly survive after the attack on Skaro with the Dalek Fraction Daleks. So yeah, you never know. And of course, Davros also called himself a Dalek Emperor in remembrance to the Daleks, when you kind of saw him use the Hand of Omega to set Skaro Sun into a supernova, and you kind of see him escape in the escape pod. So Davros did kind of call himself a Dalek Emperor in that story, in remembrance to the Daleks. So I kind of do want, I really think if we were going to get another Dalek Emperor, I think it's about time we did. Or I would absolutely think it's about time we see more Supreme Daleks in Modern Who, because the only Supreme Dalek we've actually seen in Modern Who is the Free Light Dalek with the red and gold casing, which we see in the Stolen Earth Journey's End, and of course the Witch's Familiar and the Magician's Apprentice. So I would actually be more interested in seeing different Dalek Supremes, because in classic Doctor Who we've had so many different Dalek Supremes. We had the Supreme Dalek in the Dalek Invasion of Earth, then of course we had the Supreme Dalek in the Dalek's Master Plan, and then of course we had the kind of like Gold Chief Dalek in the Day of the Daleks, and of course in Frontier in Space Part 6, and then we had a whole new Dalek Supreme in Planet of the Daleks, and then it took quite a while to bring a new Dalek Supreme in, which was actually seen in literally in Resurrection of the Daleks. That's it. When we saw the Dalek Supreme in Resurrection of the Daleks, and then of course it returned. We held a whole new colour scheme for the Dalek Supreme in Remembrance of the Daleks. So I kind of do want more Supreme Daleks in Modern Who. The classic Dalek Supreme in Planet was Savage. Yes, honestly, mate. Yes, he was. Yo, have failed. I do like that one. Mate, on the website as well, you can pre-order the new audios at a cheaper price, mate. And to be honest, those Big Finish box sets are amazing. Tom Baker is amazing on Big Finish. I've got, as I said, I've kind of got a few stories for Big Finish with Tom Baker, and Tom Baker is my favourite Doctor. And season 7 is my first full-on series with Tom Baker, so I'm really looking forward to listen to these audios with Tom Baker. I really am, because I kind of, I don't know where that's come from. Anyway, sorry about that. I really am looking forward to listening to more Tom Baker stories with Big Finish. I'm hoping to get at some point Series 9 with the 4th Doctor, K9, Romana 2 and Adric, which is kind of set in between the East Space trilogy. Stories in between East Space. I'm quite looking forward to that one. I can't wait for your review, mate. Loving all the ones you have done. Thank you so much, Killer. I really do want to get more Big Finishes to review, because I think people are loving them. I know you are, for one. Doctor Who Magic's Entertainment. Will you do a video pairing DC superheroes with Marvel superheroes? I will probably do that, but the thing is though, I have tried doing other stuff on my channel before, and they didn't really work. Not many people liked what I was trying to do, because when I started out this channel, it was not supposed to just be a Doctor Who channel. It was supposed to be all things sci-fi channel, and that's the thing about it. It's all sci-fi channel, and I did really kind of want to do
like Marvel stuff as well. And when I tried it with Star Trek didn't work. I did a review on Star Trek Picard season 1, and that didn't really go really well. So Sophie, hi Sophie. I have answered your question you asked me the other day, about if you've met any Doctor Who stars. Was you nervous meeting them? Yes, honestly, I have already answered that one for you, and I'm going to do it now. You're here watching the channel. Yes, I absolutely did, and I'm so sorry to hear that you've got COVID. I really am sorry. So to cheer me up, if you could do a Doctor Who episode, what would it be? I would absolutely kind of do a 7-part story. When I say it like that, I mean I would probably do a fantastic 7-part story. I mean, I would love to do a massive story on different Doctor Who monsters. If I could, I would probably make, if I could, because I did try and do a bigger series, and that didn't do well either when I first started, so yeah, I kind of stopped doing that one. Probably, if I was going to do a Doctor Who episode, it will probably be called Doctor Who: The Deadly Plague, which I mentioned earlier before when Jamie Ellsworth messaged me. Because that one, as I said, the Daleks create a kind of like deadly plague above the human colony, and literally just try and get rid of the humans to like test out the plague before they spread it across the universe. I'll kind of do like a story like that one, and I have written it out somewhere in my room. It's in one of my boxes somewhere where I don't know where I've written it out, because I did it back last year when I was bored. And I wrote a whole book out, 500 pages worth I've actually written down, but I need to find out so I can actually type it onto a laptop. Because I actually made that to be like a John Pertwee story. But if I could write a story for a future Doctor, it will probably be the 14th Doctor, Nick Ncuti Gatwa. I would probably do that story for Nick Ncuti Gatwa, because I think a Doctor needs a good couple of dark stories. And I would probably do that. And I'm so sorry to hear that you got COVID. I really am. Honestly, I really am sorry to hear that you got COVID. Hopefully you do get well soon, Sophie. If you want, I could try and recommend some Doctor Who episodes for you. Sit down and rewatch while you're stuck in the house, if you would like me to. Any more questions of anybody? Jamie, Supreme Council does not accept failure. No, the Daleks do not accept failure. I mean, hang on a minute. Right, going back to the question of the return of Dalek Supreme. So I've got a couple here. So we've got this bobblehead Dalek of a Dalek Supreme that was in the Dalek Invasion of Earth. And then, of course, we had this Dalek for Remembrance of the Daleks. And then, of course, the Chief Gold Dalek for Day and Frontier in Space. And then, of course, I've got this Dalek Supreme from Planet of the Daleks. Well, we have had quite a few Dalek Supremes in Classic Who, but I think we just need more Supreme Daleks to come into modern Who, instead of just having the kind of the reddish gold Dalek like we've had done for the Tennant and Capaldi era. I kind of wish we had more Dalek Supreme. Yes, please. I would love to do a marathon while we're working. I've got quite a few good stories I could highly recommend to watch while you're not well and recuperating. So if I could, I am going to recommend a whole list to you. So for Hartnell's Doctor, I would probably recommend the Daleks, the Dalek Invasion of Earth, the Aztecs, the War Machines, and the 10th Planet. Oh, and Galaxy 4. I probably will recommend Galaxy 4, because I did quite enjoy that one. Troughton, anything to do with Troughton. Anything I could recommend for Troughton. Sorry, I asked you about the 5 Doctors being a 4-part earlier, because the BBC originally planned it like that before they made it into a movie. Yeah, I do know that. But the thing is, though, I guarantee it was not filmed to be a 4-parter. It was filmed to be an actual full-length movie. What's been said, because I did ask Peter Davison
about that, and he said it was actually filmed as a TV movie when I met him back in April. So I did ask him about that, because I only found that out that it was supposed to be originally a 4-part story back in Feb, which I was kind of shocked about because it is a full-length movie. Sorry, so there's that one. Sophie, anything to do with Troughton, I highly recommend, because Troughton is just superb. For Pertwee, Spearhead from Space, Inferno, The Three Doctors, the Green Death, Connery in Space, even though I don't like Connery in Space, but another sci-fi guy does recommend that, but I don't really like Connery in Space. The Daemons, and of course the Claws of Axos, because the Claws of Axos, I really love that. It's my favourite story out of season 8. Tom Baker, all of Tom Baker. Honestly, anything with Tom Baker, I highly recommend. Tom Baker is the best Doctor ever. I just adore Tom Baker. If you want to, watch all of Tom Baker in one massive go. Start from Robot, end with Logopolis. I do that sometimes. I start from Robot, make my way down to Logopolis. Especially with the Blu-rays, because I do watch the Blu-rays go to DVD for season 13, Blu-ray again for season 14, DVD for seasons 15 and 16, 17. This was before season 17 came out on Blu-ray. Peter Davison, I do recommend Earthshock, Caves of Androsani, Resurrection of the Daleks, The Five Doctors, Castrovalva, and The Visitation, because they're just fantastic stories out of Davison's run. I really do enjoy them. For Colin Baker, I will probably recommend Attack of the Summer, Adventures of Varos, The Two Doctors, Mark of the Irani, and of course Revelation of the Daleks. There's only one story I highly recommend that you never watch. You never ever have to watch. The Twin Dilemma. I hate the Twin Dilemma. Honestly, I've got it down here in my collection, and I'm going to be really honest on this live chat. I've actually watched the story 3 times. All the other Doctor Who stories I've watched more times. This is the only one I've watched 3 times because I did not like it. I watched it when I first brought it. I then watched it when I was doing a Colin Baker marathon, and then when I was watching a whole lot of season 21. That's the only 3 times I watched it, and I have never gone back to watch it since, and that was back in 2015. Never watch The Twin Dilemma. The target novel book of the story is 10 times better, but never watch The Twin Dilemma. Never watch it. Anyway, getting back onto McCoy. For McCoy, I do highly recommend Time and Irani, because not many people like it, but if you can get through its flaws, Time and Irani was done done for Colin Baker, but it was actually had to be filmed for Sylvester McCoy. I had to change it. But for McCoy, I recommend Time and Irani, Paradise Towers, Dragonfight, Remembrance, The Happiness Patrol, Battlefield, Ghost Light, The Curse of Fenric, and Survival. They're the stories I do highly recommend. I do also recommend for Christopher Eccleston all of Series 1. Series 1 is absolutely amazing. For the 10th Doctor, I recommend Rise of the Silent Age of Steel, The Satan's Pit, and The Impossible Planet, Army Ghost, and Doomsday for Series 2. For Series 3, The Human Nature and Family of Blood, and Blink. I recommend all them. Series 4, all of Series 4. Series 4 is absolutely amazing. That's the only good series of David Tennant I really do enjoy, and I love rewatching that one. Series 5, all of Series 5. Series 6, I do recommend the main parts of that, which is like the River Song stuff, but the rest of it's just like hit and miss. Series 7, I do recommend all of Series 7. I do love Series 7. I really do love Series 7. The 11th Doctor with Clara. For Capaldi, I recommend Heaven Sent, Under the Lake and Before the Flood, and all of Series 10. I do recommend all them, and of course, The Husbands of River Song. And Jodie Whittaker, I highly recommend Series 12 and Doctor Who Flux, because they're the only ones I really do enjoy out of Jodie's run. Jamie Arrowsmith's message saying, I will turn in for work tomorrow, but I look forward to your next live video. Really great work, mate. Good night. Jamie, thank you so much, mate, if you're still here. Thank you for watching, and I'm glad you enjoyed this very first live video. I mean, I was really nervous of doing it, and I'm really glad I've done it, and I've literally been doing for 124 minutes and 11 seconds. So yeah, I'll probably go off about 10:30, something like that. I probably will. Yeah, probably will, because everyone's got to go to sleep and stuff. If you've got any more questions, would you like to ask me? Anyone? I'm happy to answer all your questions and stuff. If I was going to recommend any subscribers, I've got
or channels, I would highly recommend another sci-fi guy because he's absolutely amazing. His channel is just absolutely brilliant, and I do love his channel. It's absolutely amazing and epic and stuff. And of course, the Doctor Who Guide. The Doctor Who Guide is just another great channel as well. Alex Pedersen is one of the best Doctor Who merchandise channels, I can actually honestly say. And there's of course Pertwee 11 as well. They're quite good for their Big Finish reviews as well. If you haven't watched them, I do highly recommend them. And thinking about that, I didn't really know the Five Doctors was supposed to be a 4-part story until February, so I did have to ask Pete Nelson about that, but then it was turned into a film, which is kind of cool. I'm glad I did that. But if it's in season 20 in the Blu-ray set, I highly do have to say, yeah, I kind of hope they keep it as the movie version, just update the special effects into HD, because that's the one story I think people will probably buy season 20 for. Because if you look at the other stories in season 20, you've got Arc of Infinity, no people really mention that one, even though I think it's brilliant and brings back Omega, and I think it's a good Davison story, and I do try to defend that story. Not many people are like, oh, we don't really like that one. Snake Dance is brilliant. The Black Guardian trilogy, I think Maureen Undead and Enlightenment are brilliant. Terminus doesn't seem to get much love than those two stories. The King's Demon, I've not really had anyone talk to me about the King's Demons, because the only stories I've really had people talk to me about was the Five Doctors and Arc of Infinity for season 20. They're the only ones I've actually had people talk to me about. Any more questions? Anybody? I'm really grateful that this live stream has actually been a success for tonight. I really am honestly grateful. It's been a massive success. I was really nervous about doing this live video, and it's honestly been brilliant to do, and I probably will do another one at some point. They should do an episode where the Doctor goes back to 1912 and save the real Titanic. Yes, I think that would be a good one, but there again though, would the Titanic be a fixed point in time? It's one of those tragedies that's got to happen, so would it become a fixed point in time? Even though the Doctor basically, if he fixes it, does save it, and he breaks the first law of time, then, Killer, mate, have you ever seen Mr. TARDIS YouTube channel? Yeah, I have subscribed to Mr. TARDIS's YouTube channel, and that was only recently. I'm just trying to find other YouTubers that I can highly recommend. Mr. TARDIS, I've only found a couple of weeks ago, and I have loved his videos, what he's doing so far. There is another one, Venus stuff. I can't say the name. I do watch quite a few channels. I can't really say the name because I struggle saying names and stuff. If I could, I would. And if you have seen his channel, do you like his channel or not? Yeah, I do like his channel. I have seen some of his videos. He's actually pretty good, and he knows what he's talking about. I mean, I watched his videos he was doing asking about the Celestial Toy Maker and stuff, and I was like, yeah. Doctor Who Entertainment. Is there a Colin Baker audio that was kind of based on the Titanic, but a good idea? Sophie, I think there was, wasn't there? I really think there was. Was there an actual Colin Baker story set on the Titanic? I haven't really got a lot of Big Finishes at the moment, but the Big Finish collection is growing. I will probably look into that one. I think if they did, it'd probably be in a trilogy, either with the Sixth Doctor with Jamie and Zoe, or is it with him and Perry? I don't know, because I know there's some Salmon stories with Jamie and Zoe, and I don't know if it's in that trilogy. Did he actually do it? Titanic episode? I think Titanic would actually be classed as a fixed point in time, and the Doctor can't really interfere in fixed points in time. Until, if it was Troughton's Doctor, I think, yeah, Troughton definitely would. I think Troughton would. So it was the Doctor that actually did interfere in other people's and planets' affairs, where Hartnell's Doctor
was just observing until it comes across the events of the 10th planet.
I have to admit, if I could recommend some Big Finish stories for anybody, I love to, because there's quite a few Big Finishes I've already listened to, and I really enjoyed, and I am planning on doing a video on that one as well at some point.
What Big Finishes I would recommend. I mean, I'm really looking forward to sitting down
Starting tomorrow, Doctor Who, the Fourth Doctor Adventures, Series 7, Volume 1.
I mean, I'm absolutely love doing this
Channel. I wasn't actually expecting it to last until now, but
this long, but you know, it's brilliant.
I'm loving everyone's questions, and I'm really grateful people are loving my channel.
I really am grateful. People are really loving my channel and stuff, and I just want to say thank you so much. I've had so many great people message me with questions and stuff.
I am making sure I haven't missed any questions.
I really am making sure I've not missed any, because I don't really want to miss any questions. Everybody's got very good questions. Did I actually reply to your question? If I could do will I do a video based on DC and Marvel superheroes, Doctor Who, magic? Yeah, I think if it works, if any Marvel videos
Absolutely do work on my channel, then I'll probably add that in as well, but I'm not sure.
yeah, I think that was in the main range.
It was based on it, yeah. Ah, okay. Do you know what story that was called, Killer? Do you know what story that was called, so I can try and track it down as well and listen to that story?
So I've got quite a few stories I do want to listen to.
I've got a list.
I really do have a massive list of what
Ones I want to listen to. So, I've got a massive list here of what stories I want to go through. So, if anybody wants to know what stories I'm interested in listening to, please just message me.
And I say. So actually I've done a whole list of what Big Finishes I want to listen to and stuff.
And if anyone could recommend any Big Finish audios that I could, like, you think I would actually enjoy, then please let me know, because I seem to, at the moment, I'm loving every Big Finishes. I am like thinking of diving into
The spin-off side for Big Finish, like the Diary of a Song, the Torchwood stuff, the Class stuff, and the Jacko and Lightfoot kind of series as well. I am thinking of diving into them. Yeah, I'm thinking of diving into them.
If I could say what collection box set I would absolutely want out on Blu-ray straight away, it's definitely Season 2. Season 2 I really want, because that's my favourite Hartnell season. And I think that would do so well for the first 60 set in Blu-ray as well.
Has anybody got Doctor Who and the Daleks Steelbook, or have they got the £50 thingy where it comes with posters and postcards? I don't really know. I ain't really got that. I've got the Steelbook. I prefer the Steelbook to that one, but I would like to know what people's thoughts are on that one. I am so sorry to hear that, Sophie, you've got COVID. I am really sorry about that. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. I really wouldn't. And it's not good to kind of hear that one of my fellow subscribers has got COVID. Not really great to listen to hear. And I hope you do get well, because I really do. So, anyone got any more good questions you want me to answer to you?
So, like, what Big Finishes do I want to listen to?
Or is there anything I could recommend for anybody, or anything else? Yeah, mate. I think there is, mate. Doctor Who Big Finish CD. Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Killer. I will try and track that down, actually. I actually will think. Cream Pie Lazzies, I don't know who that is. I don't even know who subscribed to me. Can I say the N word in here? Depends what the N word is. If it's no, then you're more than welcome to. I'm not too sure what other N word there could be. But if it's a no, then that's fine. If you don't want to know what stories I recommend, that's fine. And I just want to say welcome to the live stream so far. I hope you're enjoying it. It will be finishing about 10:30. So, and I am thinking of doing another live stream at some point, possibly on a weekend where I will probably do it at an earlier time than 8 o'clock, probably 7 o'clock. Okay? Thanks. I should get well, but work days from 5 days from work. I also recommend Masterfall if you haven't listened to it. If you haven't heard it, I was listening to it one bedtime, and it was playing the imagination of all the masters. I haven't really listened to Spy. I haven't really listened to Masterfall, to be honest. I am ashamed I haven't listened to it because everyone's telling me it's a good multi-master story, and I'm quite intrigued to listen to it. I really am intrigued. Hi, how are you? Can you wait to see the 14th Doctor series? Hello, I'm good, thank you very much. I really am. Can I wait to see the 14th Doctor series? Yes, I cannot wait to see that series because I think now it's back on the Russell T Davies. I think it'd be magnificent to kind of see what's other stories. If he doesn't, I'm hoping that they don't bring in any more lovey-dovey stuff like he did with series 2 and series 3, like when he made Martha the Doctor, like the kind of rebound sort of thing, and Rose the girlfriend. I'm hoping we get something different out of his era. Well, out of his second era, I'm really hoping. And I mean, the word often aimed towards black people. No, you please do not say that on this channel. I do not like that word, and I am trying to change that. I don't really mind if you want to say it, but please do not say it in this channel at all, please. That's the only thing I'm saying. Please just don't say that N word, because I kind of want the channel to stay friendly. Reckon the Titanic is the audio story with the Sixth Doctor and Titanic. Ah, thank you. I'll probably get that one. I hope they bring Luke Smith back. Yes, I kind of hope they do bring back Luke Smith. I think if it's the perfect time, it will probably be for the 60th or the Salimentary special, because we've had quite a few like rumours that Doctor Who characters was returning in the Salimentary special, because we know Tegan's returning and stuff. Like, I know Tegan's like saying that she's going to come, like coming back with Ace, and that's the one thing I have to say. But we have had rumours that Graham's coming back, that William Russell, Colin Baker, Sylvester McCoy, Peter Davison, and David Bradley is supposed to be coming back, with Katie Manning and the woman that plays Polly, Anakin Wilkes, something like that. So I'm not really too sure. But if there were, I kind of gather that if it's a Salimentary special, they'll probably bring more characters back. I think they probably will. But yeah, Luke does need to come back, and I think a spin-off called the Luke Smith Adventures, which is a spin-off from the Sarah Jane Adventures, would absolutely work. I mean, if you want to kind of make Doctor Who like this big, massive franchise like Marvel, like Russell T Davies has said, then I think, yeah, you know, if you do like a kind of series with other characters, like characters from the Sarah Jane Adventures or the Gwen Cooper Adventures or something to do with the Class Adventures, you know, yeah, I think it could absolutely work. Come on, don't be such a Jew. I'm ignoring that one because I don't want that word saying at all. Is anybody else looking forward to Nick Shooty Gatwell debut as the 14th Doctor? 14th or 15th? 14th or 15th Doctors. Because there are rumours that the 10th Doctor, David Tennant, is the actual 14th Doctor, which I think will be difficult for people to think, because Tennant is 10th Doctor, but he also did the 10th and 11th Doctors, technically, because he had 2 regenerations, and if he's going to come back, that makes him the only Doctor actor to come back and play the Doctor 3 times. So in like 3 different Doctors, the 10th, 11th, and 14th Doctors. So, you know, because the 11th Doctor was in his last body, his 13th incarnation. So that means 10th had 11 and 12 regenerations. Is there any characters you want to see Russell come back? Yes, I've got quite a few list of Doctor Who characters I'd like to see come back under Russell T Davies. If I could, for the 60th, I would like to see Caroline Ann Ford, who played Susan, come back, because I think if you get her with David Bradley, I think that would be a good sort of thing to do. Like, you kind of can have Susan and her grandfather coming from a multi-Doctor story. I would love to see a Tom Baker with Louise Jameson come through, because I would say Tom Baker and Liana Wood, but I know them two got married and they didn't part well, really didn't part well and stuff, and I think that, I don't know why the marriage broke up. I need to look into that, why they broke up. So I don't really think Tom Baker will probably go in with Liana Wood, so I would rather see... Tennant played the Meta Crisis Doctor. Tennant's already played 3 Doctors, so really this will be his 4th Doctor. Yeah. Sorry, I forgot the Meta Crisis Doctor. Yeah. I forgot that one. Why did I forget that one? I don't know why. I don't know why I forgot that one. So anyway, back to what I was saying. If I were you, I'd probably like to see Tom Baker return with Louise Jameson, Peter Davison with Jeanette Fielding and Sarah Sutton. So that way you can set a come in between the stories between Arc of Divinity and Snake Dance. For Colin Baker, I would like to see him return with Perry. I think that would be really interesting. Sylvester McCoy and Sophie Aldred, make them return. Paul McGann and Ruth Bradley, who plays Molly O'Sullivan in the spin-off, in the Big Finish story, Dark Eyes, because that's really popular. I do love Dark Eyes, and I would actually like to see Molly O'Sullivan get a TV appearance. The War Doctor, I want them to leave. I do want them to leave. If Eccleston comes back, yes, with Billy Piper. The Tennant coming back, yeah, Donna Noble. I'm glad Donna Noble's coming back. I'm glad about that. Matt Smith, I kind of want him to have Amy and Rory back, so stay somewhere in between series 5 and 6 or 7. The 12th Doctor, Bellanardo. Definitely get Bellanardo back. Really, that's just it. The 4th Doctor, even though he says I think Doctor Who needs K9 back, yes, I do, but I would actually like to see K9 become a companion again to the Doctor, not the Doctor like leaving him with Sarah Jane or Leela and stuff. I kind of want K9 back on the TARDIS with the Doctor, because that's the one thing about the Tom Baker era. Like, one of the other things I like about the Tom Baker era, that K9 is just that character I really just absolutely flipping love. It's really great. K9 is a primitive bastard, and I would actually like to see K9 come back into the TARDIS. I really would. I know Tennant did play the Meta Crisis Doctor, so that means Tennant's played 3 incarnations of the Doctor already, and now he's coming back to play if he is the 14th Doctor, which I hope not. Tarlo, however you spell his name, he should come back. Maybe Chameleon and the Robot, as he only has a few stories. Yeah, but I think Big Finish has done something with Chameleon and Tarlo. And the thing is that I'm not really a big Chameleon fan, even though he only did 2 stories, which was The King's Demons and Planet of Fire. I'm not really into Chameleon as much. Tarlo, on the other hand, I don't know the way how he left at the end of Planet of Fire. I think he would have had... I would have loved to have more consequences in the case of Johnny, even though it did sacrifice for the Doctor, like, having to regenerate because he's got spectral sepsemia and he's losing Perry. I think the consequences, if Tarlo was there, would have been really more stake if Tarlo kind of died in that story instead of him going back to his own people, which kind of feels like it was a bit rushed. And so I do kind of think Tarlo's departure was a bit rushed. Have you met the voice actor for K9? No, I haven't. I've only met 5 Doctor Who actors so far. I'm thrilled to say that I've only met 5, but it would have been 7, because when I went to Telford Comic Con in April, I queued up to meet David Tennant and Catherine Tate, and the queue was massive. I was in the queue for literally half an hour, and then I decided to go and meet Peter Davison again, Colin Baker, Sylvester McCoy again. I met Paul McGann for the very first time, and I met Nicola Bryant. So when I went back to try and get in the queue for Tennant and Catherine Tate, the queue was just different, just really, really difficult. The queue, I was trying to get in the queue, and the queue was really massive for them too, and it's just like, yeah, I'm going to try and get them another time. What about Tom Baker and Adric in an episode set between Full Circle and State of Decay? But if they do that, that means you kind of have to bring in Romana and K9, because Romana and K9 was in from Full Circle and State of Decay up to Warriors Gate. So if they were going to do a story of the Fourth Doctor and Adric, I would love to see it in between the Keeper of Traken and Legopolis, really. Try and fit in another story in between that kind of little gap. Let the Fourth Doctor and Adric have a bit more time together, because I really think in the Keeper of Traken their friendship was starting to develop a lot more, and then in Legopolis you do see them kind of being like more like best pals. So I kind of would say, yeah, if the Doctor was going to have more adventures of Adric, like have it between Keeper of Traken and Legopolis, because even though Big Finish has done like series 9 of the Fourth Doctor adventures with the Fourth Doctor, Romana, K9 and Adric, and that's set in between the East Space Trilogy, that's honestly fine. But I think if they were going to do something, it would have to be in between Keeper of Traken and Legopolis for the Fourth Doctor and Adric. If it was the Fifth Doctor and Adric, I think they've done quite a few stories with the Fifth Doctor and Adric. I think they initially have. I miss Anthony Ainley's Master. You're not the only one. Anthony Ainley is my favourite Master. And I'm sorry to say that, because many people are like, oh, John Simm's my favourite Master. I'm like, seriously? I mean, Anthony Ainley is my favourite Master, followed by Roger Delgado, then followed by John Sim and Michelle Gormas. They're my 4 favourite Masters. And the thing is that Anthony Ainley had something really great in the role of the Master. And I really do see that in Keeper of Traken, Legopolis, Castrovalva, Time Flight, The King's Demon, The Five Doctors, Planet of Fire, Mark Durrani, The Ultimate Foe, and of course Survival. I wish Big Finish had the chance to make more stories with Anthony Ainley with Sylvester McCoy, because I think that time was a bit short, because Tom Baker had one story with Anthony Ainley, technically 2, where Anthony Ainley played Tremas. Where Anthony Ainley did play Tremas, and then of course you got him as the Master from Legopolis. So I kind of want more McCoy stories with Anthony Ainley's Master. I really do kind of want that one. Yeah, I've kind of been doing really, really well actually. I think I've done really well for my first live channel. Yeah, I do miss Anthony Ainley. The one thing I think that basically the modern Masters have missed is that kind of evil sort of laugh. I mean, that's the one thing about the Master in the modern era. I prefer the classic Masters to the modern Masters. I have to admit, even though John Sim is really, really good, but that's because I just absolutely love him from the Sound of the Drums, Last of the Time Lords, and Word Nothing Time and the Doctor Falls. I don't like him in The End of Time. The End of Time, I think that's just a waste of potential for the Master. I really don't like that story. I really don't like The End of Time. I really don't. Anthony Ainley is the longest running Master to date, from Keeper of Traken to Survival. Yes, he actually is the longest running Master, and that's the thing. I think he's got like 8 years under his belt, and gone 81, 82, 83, 84, 85. Yeah, he's got 9 years under his belt as the Master, which is absolutely brilliant. And if you think about it, during that 9 years, he's not had many episodes or stories, and that's really a shame. I think they could have given him a bit more stories. I would really love them to have with that Anthony Ainley's Master. Really want more, and we really could have done with more Anthony Ainley as the Master. Really could have done more with Anthony Ainley. Because I think the missing opportunity, the only thing about Doctor Who being cancelled is that Sylvester McCoy and Anthony Ainley didn't really have many Master stories going through, did they? They only had Survival. And I wish Anthony Ainley had more stories with Sylvester McCoy, because them two had really great chemistry. And I do see that with when I was watching the outtakes with on the season 26 box set, and you can really tell Anthony Ainley and Sylvester McCoy got on like a massive house on fire, and it's such a shame that Doctor Who was cancelled, because I would have loved for them to have more stories between Anthony Ainley's Master and Sylvester McCoy's Doctor, because Sylvester McCoy's Doctor is the chess master Doctor, but Anthony Ainley's Master is the more cunning sort of master. He's always there to manipulate the events that's been taking place. Like in Time Flight. Not many people like Time Flight. I don't know, I've got a question for you lot. Do any of you actually enjoy Time Flight? Let me know. Please let me know, because I don't know why some people have a problem with Time Flight. I don't really get it, because Time Flight, for me, it's a really great story, because I had no idea it was the Master until you saw Khalid. And when I was really, really young when I first watched the episode, and I'm like, oh, it's the Master. You know, I was really, really young when I first watched the episode. I was about 3, 4. And I don't really get why people don't like Time Flight. I really don't, because it's not as bad. The way I see it, it's not bad as the Twin Dilemma or Time Lash, and I don't really get why Time Flight suffers a lot of backlash. And like thinking to myself, I kind of enjoy Time Flight, you know. Time Flight for me, it's a better story than the Faceless ones with Patrick Troughton. I have to admit, I've watched these 2 episodes, well, stories back to back before, and I'm like, yeah, Time Flight for me is the better story than the Faceless ones. So yeah, let me know if anyone likes Time Flight, because I absolutely genuinely think it's one of the better stories in season 19. Because not as great as Castrovalva or The Visitation or Earthshock. I think the Master is the highlight of Time Flight. Thank you, Doctor Who Magic Entertainment. I'm not the only one that thinks that then, because I love Anthony Ainley as the Master, and the way you kind of have the Master like dressed as Khalid, I really find that really interesting and stuff. And then I don't really get why people don't like it. I really don't, because I'm like thinking to myself, going, Time Flight's a masterpiece. Because if I was going to put Time Flight against the Faceless ones, Time Flight wins for me, because even though I like the idea of the Faceless ones with the shape-shifting aliens, the chameleon tour sort of plot hole, I kind of prefer Time Flight with the Master behind the fence bringing planes from the 20th century back to the Stone Age, or back to the Ice Age, and him dressing up as Khalid and manipulating the events is really a Master thing to do, because he wants to get his hands on the Seraphim. I do like the Seraphim as well. I think they're fantastic creatures as well, because the Doctor sent him back to Chameleon's. Well, the Doctor sent him to Chameleon's home planet, and that's how the Master get hold of Chameleon, because the robots that Chameleon was invaded Seraphis. So I kind of do like Time Flight a lot. I have to admit, out of the airport episodes so far for Doctor Who's history, I have to admit Time Flight for me is literally the best. And I love that ending as well, where the Doctor basically materialises the TARDIS from Nyssa, and then he goes, "Where's Tegan?" And I love the fact he goes, "Oh, hello, I thought you were with the Doctor." So did I. I really love that. And I wasn't expecting Tegan to come back when I watched Arc of Infinity for the first time. So the very first time I actually watched that 2-part story, then 2 episodes, was when I got hold of this box set, which is signed by Peter Davison. That is the very first time I actually watched Time Flight and Arc of Infinity, and I really enjoyed that box set. That's one of my favourite DVD box sets. And not many people are like, oh, I don't really like Time Flight, you know. Come on. It's not as bad as the Twin Dilemma or Time Lash. That's the only thing I'm saying. Yes, it is a weak story. Yes, that is because they used the budget for Attack of the Cyber... not Attack of the Cyber... Ventures on Varos. Like, they kind of used that for, like, for Ventures on Varos and stuff. And I don't really kind of, like, go to myself like, yeah, you know, don't really... It's not bad as the Twin Dilemma, and it's not really bad as Time Lash. I mean, if I was going to say anything, the worst story out of classic Doctor Who is the Twin Dilemma. That's my opinion. That's what I have to say. The Twin Dilemma is really the worst story for classic Doctor Who, where other stories I enjoy a lot more than the Twin Dilemma. I have to admit, I do honestly have to say that. And I've gone over my time slot here. I said I'd go, didn't I? I said I'd go about. I'll stop about 10:30. I think I'll stick to 11. Yeah, stick to 11 because I've gone over that. Hi. Is that Sakari Genius? I don't know. Hi. I have to admit, I do kind of enjoy Time Flight more than the Twin Dilemma. That's a guilty pleasure. Has anyone else got any stories they think that is not the best in Doctor Who's history? I'd be interested to know that one. What is the worst story you all think in Doctor Who's history? If I was going to say what are the worst stories for my favourite Doctor, which is Tom Baker, that's got to be The Leisure Hive. The Leisure Hive, I think Tom Baker just can't save it. No matter how good it is or how bad the story is, Tom Baker always seems to save it. Like The Power of Kroll, even though I do think that does suffer from really bad budget and stuff. Power of Kroll, Tom Baker saves it, where I think The Leisure Hive, Tom Baker can't even save it for me. I just can't get into it. Actors in the UK, yeah, that one is pretty terrible. Yeah, that one is really bad. To be honest, when that first aired, I was kind of hoping it was the return of the Metabilius spiders from Planet of the Spiders, John Pertwee's finale. But when it was just like a whole bit of a spider, like a whole different sort of chemical sort of thing, I'm like, I don't really care. I don't really care. What makes this a good episode? Underworld. To be honest, I haven't really watched Underworld for a very long time. It is on my list to rewatch. That is literally on my rewatch list, honestly, to go back and rewatch Underworld. So I'm not too sure. I do agree with Actors in the UK, because when that first aired, I was like, yeah, you know, I thought it was the return of the Metabilius spiders for Actors in the UK, and then of course it just wasn't. The one with the Pating is a bad from Series 11. Yeah, the Pating's really that is. Series 11 does suffer with really bad writing. Really suffers with really bad writing. I mean, they had the good budget there for the good kind of like the new special effects and stuff, but then you kind of get into episodes with the Pating and the Actors in the UK, which is one after the other, and yeah, they are bad. They are bad. I think Series 11's only got 3 episodes I really enjoy, which is The Woman Who Fell to Earth, Kablam, and The Witchfinders. They're the only 3 I really like. Oh, and Rosa. Sorry, Rosa. They're the only ones I do kind of like. I don't really like any other stuff from Series 11. I normally skip Series 11. I'm excited for the Same Entry special with the return of Tegan and Ace. Yes, that's the one thing I'm really looking forward to myself. I mean, Ace is my all-time favourite companion. Leela follows her afterwards. Ace, I have to be honest, I did actually have a crush on her when I was growing up because I thought she was absolutely amazing and stuff. And I'm really looking forward to seeing her return. And I'm kind of, I have been told that she has met the 13th Doctor in a book, and I'm hoping they kind of make that canon, because if not, that book just basically falls non-canon. But the return of Tegan was a bit of a surprise. I have to admit, I was excited to see her return, but I'm like, oh no, Tegan's back. I'm hoping that they have write a character really well, because with Peter Davison's Doctor, she was very argumentative and stuff. I would like to see her argue with the 13th Doctor. I'm hoping they haven't really backed Tegan down a bit and stuff. More in fact, though, it was announced that Tegan married Nyssa in, I believe it was a YouTube series called Farewell to Sarah Jane, back in lockdown. So I kind of hope she's still married to Nyssa. I hope Nyssa's still about. I really hope Nyssa's still about. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing them two return. Honestly, the Ace for me is my all-time favourite companion. So Ace returning, I'm absolutely looking forward to. Tegan is my 20th favourite companion. The Frog episode in Series 11, I didn't like that one as I found it confusing. Yeah, that one. Sleep No More is the worst Capaldi episode. I agree with that one. The Woman Who Fell to Earth and Resolution are the worst Whittaker episodes in my opinion, just because they don't really feature opening titles. To be honest with you, I kind of like them too. I mean, the one who fell to Earth, it sets so much for the 13th Doctor. I mean, being like all hands-on and gadget and stuff. And then after that episode, it's like she's just waving her sonic screwdriver about, and it's like you've gone back. Like in that episode, like when she's like hacking into the technology and stuff using the mobile phone and against Tim Shaw. It's like, yeah, I don't really. And then she literally goes and uses the sonic screwdriver for everything else. I really don't like that because she was very hands-on in the first episode, and then that's the one thing about it. What was that one? Yeah, the frog episode was very confusing, and it's I can't remember what it's called actually. I actually should name it that, like you, Sophie. The frog episode. Are you looking forward to the new David Tennant specials with the bleep, the M bleep, the M bleep? Yes and no. I have to admit, if Tennant is the 14th Doctor, I'm gonna be like really confused how to put him in this timeline. If it's gonna be like the 10th Doctor with a whole new outfit, then definitely. Or I'm kind of hoping it's gonna be really, really good. I'm hoping it's gonna be good. That's the only thing I'll have to say. I'm not gonna put it down. I'm not gonna say anything bad about it. I want to see how good it is first. If it's terrible, you know, I don't really think it's gonna be terrible. It's Russell T Davies and stuff. Doctor Who box. It annoys me so much when Jodie gets a Sonic in every episode. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing I'm trying to say. It's just like when you watch Woman Who Fell to Earth, because I watched that one recently as well. I love the fact that she's like very hands-on with tech. And then after that episode, it's like from the Ghost Monument, she's just there waving the sonic screwdriver about, going, woo! Like so. And I just don't really like the way Jodie just does that, waves the sonic screwdriver about. The frog episode, it's called It Takes You Away. Thank you so much. For the sake of it, I couldn't remember what it's called. Apparently, Neil Patrick Handsman is the Celestial Toy Maker. I've already spoke a bit about that because I've heard two different things. One, that is the Celestial Toy Maker, or two, he is the master from the story with the Mind Rubber. Not the Patrick Troughton story, not the actual Time Lord Master. Because there's actually been two masters, where this master's from the land of fiction, fiction, something like that, with the toy soldiers and stuff. But if it's just a toy maker, I'm gonna try and get my hands on. And I'm gonna say this honestly, I'm gonna try and get my hands on the Nightmare Fair for Big Finish because I've only watched episode 4 of the toy maker. I have tried watching the loose cannon stuff, but I can't really get into loose cannon. Loose cannon just pulls me out of the story. And then I literally just took it off after episode 2 of the Loose Cannon and put in the actual Savone episode from the Lost in Time box set, and I watched the existing episode for that, and I'm like, yeah, this is okay. I need to know a bit more about the Celestial Toy Maker because it's such a shame the rest of the episodes is missing. It is honestly such a really bad shame that out of Hartnell stories, the Celestial Toy Maker has only got one story missing, like existing for episode 3. Episode 4, but then you got like 3 episodes missing, and I think that should be animated at some point, hopefully. I do wish that was kind of animated. I'm ready for the Whittaker era to come to an end. It's been the weak era for me, and the least era to rewatch. I can't really agree with you on that one. I'm sorry, Who Box. I have to be honest, I don't really rewatch Jodie's run that much and Tennant's run that much, apart from series 4. Tennant is my least favourite Doctor because I don't like the lovey-dovey stuff. Jodie is literally in 14th place out of the 15 actors that play the Doctor. And Jodie's era, I think Jodie just really needs more better stories. I'm hoping she goes into Big Finish. I think Big Finish could actually do some actual great damage control with her work. I mean, they did it for Colin Baker and Paul McGann, and I really think they can actually pull the boat out for Jodie Whittaker because I don't like the way that the story's like being told and stuff. But there again, though, it's just like trying to think what to actually say because Jodie's era is my second least favourite era because I don't like the Tennant era that much.
For me, it goes Tennant, Whittaker. They're like the 2 eras I'm like, a bit funny on. Flux I rewatched quite a lot though. I do like Flux. I have to admit, Flux I do enjoy. I do enjoy Flux. If I was going to say what my 2 favourite eras of Doctor Who, it's probably the Tom Baker era and the Cecil McCoy era. I think the BBC treated Jodie like they did to Colin and Sylvester. Yeah, definitely. She has. I think Jodie's got the potential to be a good Doctor, but it's the way she's been treated with the scripts, and it's just like, no, you know, that's the whole thing about it. You know, it's not the actor's fault. I mean, with Tennant, I don't like the lovey-dovey stuff, but that's not Tennant's fault. That's the actual writing. And the writing for Jodie has been, some of it's been good, some of it's been really terrible. I mean, if you look at Colin Baker, he's had some good stories and some bad stories, but the writing was really poor quality. Same with Sylvester. And Jodie's definitely been treated like them too by the BBC. She really has. Which is such a shame, because I really think she's got the potential to be a good Doctor, especially when you watch The Woman Who Fell to Earth and she's very like hands-on with the technology and stuff, and then the rest of it's just like there with the sonic waving it about and stuff. And then that's what I have to say. Don't get me wrong, she has had some fun stories in her era. Yeah. I know. She's had some good stories in her era. I know she has. It's just, I agree with you. She has had some bad stories. Really bad stories. I know what you're trying to say. It's just, some people think, oh, you're just a Jodie hater. I'm not a Jodie hater. Russell T Davies was on the One Show earlier, but he wouldn't say anything about the 60 because he didn't want to overshadow Jodie's last episode. Yeah, which is fair enough, because that's the whole thing. All this stuff about Jodie's like final episode hasn't really been given much kind of notice to, because everybody's now getting pumped to the 60th anniversary. David Tennant coming back and Catherine Tate coming back, with Wilfred coming back, and that's the thing. I really think Jodie's final episode has been overshadowed by the 60th anniversary, and I'm like thinking to myself, that doesn't seem right. They really need to come back and rethink and just like give it one. She was great with the Master in Spyfall, and yeah, she was great. Yeah, honestly, her and Sacha Dhawan were brilliant together. I'm looking for Sacha Dhawan going in Big Finish. Brilliant. But the thing is, though, as you say, her era has not been treated really well, because she has suffered with a lot of bad writing and stuff, and I do think that is Chibnall's fault. I honestly do think that is Chibnall's fault. I mean, I went back to rewatch some of the stories he's written for Doctor Who. I mean, because he written 42. I think he written the Salorin 2-parter for Series 5, and that one's not really the best either. So yeah, I really do think Jodie has suffered with Chibnall, but I think she could do better. I mean, have you seen that lockdown thing they did last year with Stephen Moffat when he wrote something for the 13th Doctor, and that was actually a more enjoyable story. The only thing I'm not a fan of in the Jodie era is the Timeless Child story arc. It's stupid. Having Doctors before Hartnell is just confusing. To be honest, I have said this myself, but the thing is though, pre-Hartnell Doctors have been hinted at the show before, like in The Brain of Morbius. And of course, with the 7th Doctor coming up that line saying, I am far more than just another Time Lord. You know, so that's the one thing I have to say about it. Yeah, I don't really like what they've done with the Timeless Child, but there's been stuff in Classic Who to suggest the Doctors like had other faces and stuff, but I think, yeah, I don't know what to actually think, because even though you got the Ruth Doctor coming out on Big Finish, I would have been, to be honest, I would be really happy to say that the fugitive Doctor is in between Hartnell and, well, not Hartnell, sorry, in between Troughton and Pertwee, because we don't really see Troughton regenerate into Pertwee, do we? It just goes blank. And then, of course, Big Finish is now doing the Doctor behind the War Games, where he does actually regenerate into the 3rd Doctor. So that's the one thing I have to say about that one. But I would have loved her to be before Pertwee, so Pertwee basically took after her. But to make her before Hartnell, just like, oh okay, yeah. It is confusing. It is generally confusing. That is just generally confusing.
Right then, I'm going to be off now. Hang on, sorry, I would be. I love when they showed the Morbius doctors in that flashback of the timeless children. Yeah, that was actually the thing about it, because I know in the Brain of Morbius it was hinted that the doctor was going to get more lives, but yeah, the whole having lives before the Morbius doctors, it's just like I don't know what the hell they were thinking. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think the Time Lords mentioned that their rule about the regeneration of having 13 lives came into it in the Deadly Assassin. I could be wrong. It could be before then, but I'm not too sure. Anyway, what time is it? Yeah. So anyway, thank you for watching this live video. You've all been absolutely perfect and absolutely amazing and stuff. And thank you for talking to me on this live stream. I'm really honoured that this has actually worked really well. I'm going to do another live stream. I think honestly, today's been absolutely perfect. People have actually enjoyed it and stuff. So thank you to all of you for being fantastic supporters and stuff. And thank you for watching this video. Please do like, subscribe, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I hope you all have a very good night and a very good day tomorrow. Sophie, definitely love your videos. Thank you so much. That's honestly, it's amazing that I've got people loving my channel. I mean, I really am grateful, and I really am really grateful people are loving them. Because I was absolutely worried when I first started that not many people will watch me, not many people will love me, because I'm a big fan of Doctor Who, and I've got so much potential for the show, so much love for the show, and it's just genuinely fantastic to know I've got subscribers that are absolutely loving my channel. I'm having people like messaging me, and if anybody like lives in Shropshire near me, please let me know, because I would be very happy to give you some like my autograph or something and a picture of me, because I really do like my fans. I mean, I really do like my fans. I absolutely love my fans, and I'm really grateful I've got a load of fans out there. I'm really grateful I've got the subscribers, and I'm really grateful to YouTube for letting me actually do a live video, because I did try to do one a couple of months ago, but they refused to let me for some reason. It was not until recently I checked and they let me do it. So anyway, yeah, thank you so much, Sophie, for saying that you love my videos. It's absolutely fantastic to know you all. And Whobox, it's been great chatting Doctor Who. Yeah, it has. It's actually done me some good as well, because I'm going through a very difficult bit at the moment with my life, and I'm not going to say what that is. And the thing is, I'm really grateful. This has really helped, to be honest. It's actually making me want to go and do more live videos, and I'm really enjoying the fact I've had so many great people talk to me about Doctor Who, asking me questions and stuff. And I just want to thank you all. Really do. Just honestly, you lot are fantastic. And thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for subscribing to my channel, and thank you for all the lovely comeback, all the lovely sorry, I'm trying to think here. Comments. That's it. Thank you for all the lovely comments. You know, you really brighten up my day and stuff. And just thank you for watching. And I hope you all had a great time with watching my live video. And please remember, if you can, please share my videos onto Facebook, Twitter, so I can get more followers and stuff. And thank you for watching, and join me for some more Doctor Who content videos on my channel. Please do, and thank you for being magnificent subscribers and viewers. You all are truly amazing. Goodbye.